the other one. Welcome to the second half.
Roses to wake up soon.
Minnesota Wild, the Edmonton Oilers for the second time in the last 5 nights. And starting to go for the Wild is 33-year-old Nicholas on TSN. Wins a night doubleheader for the Minnesota Wild, taking on the Edmonton Oilers for the second time in the last 5 nights. He's starting to go for the Wild is 33-year-old Nicholas Backstrom. He has started 23 games in his career against Edmonton. He's won 20 of them, including the last 6 in a row. Nikolai, how you going? 20 of them. Nicholas Backstrom. He has started 23 games in his career against Edmonton. 33-year-old Nicholas Backstrom. He has started 23 games in his career against Edmonton. He's won 20 of them, including the last 6 in a row. Nikolai, how you going? His next win this year will be his 10th. That's as many as he had all of last season. There's the Oiler netminder, and Mike Johnson with us. And one of the big stories of the Oilers' surprise season is the play of Ryan Smith.
Certainly has been. He's been rejuvenated back in Edmonton, a place where he probably never really wanted to leave. And leading by example, these young kids, but leading on the ice, scoring 12 goals, 20 even strength points. Near the top of the league in that list, and I talked to him during warm-up, and he was telling me how much fun he's having being around all these young guys.
Sean Horkoff starts up front with Alec.
Offside. First ball. Let's go Oilers chant.
Coach Tom Rennie juggled his lines to
100 decibels here in Rexall.
Coach Tom Rennie has juggled his lines somewhat for this game. He could play it, but he's back in for Minnesota.
We're up 4-2.
Edmonton with a big win last Friday night in Minnesota. The first 18 games in St. Paul. January 2007 to find Edmonton's last win in Minnesota. It was a 5-2 victory.
I see Sam Gagner now filling the role of Taylor Hall on that second line, and he's one of the young guys we lost in the shuffle with the emergence of Nugent Hopkins and Eberle. And he's got an opportunity now to play in that top 6 role, show some offensive skills. Still stuck on 0 goals for the year. They need that to change.
And Mike, his ice time is starting to dip as well. He's down 3 minutes a game from last year. A long drive gloved by Backstrom as Andy Sutton back in the Edmonton lineup. Unloaded that shot. Sutton was actually injured moments before against Ottawa in November as the players were screaming out after the introductions. He felt something tweak in this 7th straight game.
And they happen to have him back for his side with just a little bit more experience on what could be a young back end that's getting a little bit healthier now.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ryan Smith, and Jordan Eberle on the forward line for Edmonton. The Oilers with Ryan O'Meara called up for 3 minutes a game from last year. As Andy Sutton back in the Edmonton lineup unloaded that shot. Sutton was actually injured moments before a game against Ottawa in November. As the players were scooting out after the introductions, he felt something tweak in this 7th straight game.
Have him back for his side with just a little bit more experience. To be a young back end that's getting a little bit healthier now.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ryan Smith, and Jordan Eberle on the forward line for Edmonton. The Oilers with Russ Backstrom as Andy Sutton back in the Edmonton line.
Got to change.
And Mike, his ice time is starting to dip as well. He's down 3 minutes a game from last year. A long drive gloved by Backstrom as Andy Sutton back in the Edmonton lineup. Unloaded that shot. Sutton was actually injured moments before a game against Ottawa in November. As the players were skating out after the introductions, he felt something tweak in his 7th straight game.
They have to have him back for his side with just a little bit more experience. That's getting a little bit healthier now.
For game 7.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ryan Smith, and Jordan Eberle on the forward line for Edmonton. The Oilers with Ryan O'Meara called up for their American League team yesterday. Now have 5 Ryans in the lineup.
Ryans in the lineup.
Here comes Ryan Nugent-Hopkins ahead for Smith.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Ryan Smith across the line, but Nugent-Hopkins was a hair ahead of the play and it's called offside.
See Nugent-Hopkins. It's been a story of this young NHL season.
And this
Figured at finding the
playoff
ice
series.
where it's open, where he can utilize his unique skill set. Sequence just in space and also to dance around someone. He is a fun one to watch.
11 points in his last 6 games. He's on pace for an 85-point rookie season. That would break the Edmonton rookie mark held by Yari Curry. Matt Keller moves it ahead. Finds Devin Setaguchi, and Setaguchi goes rink wide. Jared Spurgeon, the Edmonton native, who celebrated his birthday last night with friends and family here in Edmonton, plays it across. And Pierre-Marc Bouchard picks up a loose puck, but as he throws to the Edmonton native, who celebrated his birthday last night with friends and family here in Edmonton, plays it across.
Gagne, right off the net.
Pierre-Marc Bouchard picks up a loose
Score!
puck.
What a way to start for Game 7. It's 1-0 Oilers.
Cullen was ahead of the play, and offside again to call.
Pierre-Marc Bouchard has been an Edmonton Oilers killer. Pierre-Marc Bouchard has been an Edmonton Oilers killer.
Huge save. Goal scored.
A couple goals against him this year. 40 points organization.
And Pierre-Marc Bouchard picks up the loose puck, but as he does so, Cullen was ahead of the play, and offside again to call.
Pierre-Marc Bouchard has been an Edmonton Oiler killer throughout his career. By far the most points against this organization than any. He's already got a couple goals against him this year. 40 points in 40 games in his career. So the Oilers would be wise to keep a close eye on him.
5 years ago in this building, he scored goals 16 seconds apart. Ryan Jones digging for it. Eric Belanger, Magnus Pajärvi out there on the forward line, and a quick save by Happy Bullock as the puck came free to Kyle Brodziak. Tonight's game plan is brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, always 20 minutes fresh.
And for Mike Yo's Minnesota Wild, support their defense. 3 young players in Scandella, Stoner, and Spurgeon, and also Zanin and Lundy, just 1 game removed from long injuries. Help them out. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they're trying to learn the harder they check, the better they pursue the puck, the easier the offense they want to play will come.
Magnus Pajärvi, another player looking for his first goal of the year, fires it down. Ryan Jones looking for it. The line down there with Clayton Stoner. And the puck comes free. Nick Johnson brings it ahead. The puck comes to the opponent. After the Ryan Whitney chips it back out. Edmonton's won the the first of 18 games in Minnesota. It's now an 8-game Wild winning streak against the Oilers. For a long time, the Wild, especially Nicholas Backstrom, had Edmonton's number. Jeff Petrie plays that ahead, and right at center ice, we have Darcy Horlichuk and Brad Stovich. No surprise here. This goes back to the Friday night meeting. And this is something they didn't do on the Friday night, as much as Stovich wanted to. Battle or battles were the story on Friday, as Horlichuk goaded Stovich into a pair of double minors in the opening period, chirping, slashing, hacking, and finally, when Stovich took his second double minor after he and Horlichuk did not fight, right there, Ryan Nugent scored the goal to put the Oilers up to 9 points to the first period. And on the way, score 5-2.
This entire series.
He didn't want to do it then. He got 8 minutes of power play time for his team in the last game, and finally engaged with Brad Stovich when he was ready.
Vladislav Schmid steps into Mike Lundin and drops him down. After he and Horlichuk did period, chirping, slashing, hacking, and finally, Stovich took his second double.
Stovich! First playoff goal as an Edmonton Oiler! 2-0.
After he and Horlichuk did not fight, period. Hopkins took his second double minor after he and Hornacek did not fight. Right there, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored the goal. The second double minor after he and Hornacek did not fight. Right there, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scored the goal to put the Oilers ahead 2-0. The first period, they had a final score of 5-2.
That's what Darcy Hornacek doing on his own terms. He didn't want to take
Grundin and drops him down. Top setting fighting majors for Sabitz and Hornacek as Sam Gagner gets banged down by Nico Koivu. Gagner back up with his feet in front. And Horcoff foot-ration. Bean plays it back in deep. Hensky loose in front, penalty coming up to Minnesota. It'll be holding a stick call to send Edmonton to the power play. Less than 3 minutes into the opening period.
Hensky fighting a seam in the neutral zone, creating because Nico Koivu was heading for a change, and when he left, that spot on the right wing, it opened up the gap for Hensky to blow right through it. Michael Landin had a tough gap. You see, Koivu just drifts off the bench, and the man jumping on is not there to get him. Kyle Brodziak puts Michael Landin in a tough position on a streaking Hensky.
Edmonton last year, 26th in the NHL. In terms of home power play percentage this year, Edmonton is number 1 in the league in home power play percentage. Hopkins and Ryan Smith. Was the Gilbert with a shot and Backstrom sees it all the way and hangs out.
They play just a little bit too quick in developing. So Horcoff and Ryan Smith to get Simon Smith and Backstrom. Tom Gilbert gets a shot on that. Good entry here, George. That's a little tough shot. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and everyone's flowing into position. But it was just a little bit too quick for the screen to get in place.
Draw was won by Matt Cullen, who is in the top 5 in the NHL in face-off percentage. That allows the Wild to clear it. John Horcoff is the Oilers leader with 4 power goals so far this year. Emily sends that back through the middle of Horcoff. Horcoff drops it for Hensky, takes a return pass from Emily, and now Nugent-Hopkins with a shot. And Backstrom makes the stop out here. James Duffy with a quick update for us. Hopkins with a shot. And Backstrom makes the stop on in. James Duffy with a quick update for us. Here, still no score in the opening period. As 2 of the biggest surprise teams in the first quarter of the NHL season hook up. Both these teams are on pace for 20-point improvements this year. Minnesota has missed the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. The Oilers have missed the playoffs for franchise record 5 straight. Gagner drops it off for Hensky. That pass knocked astray, and Gagner back on it. Throws it down low. Spurgeon waiting for it. And Jared Spurgeon flips that to the goal. Now it's high in the air. Spurgeon fires it down the ice. Jared Spurgeon was drafted by the Islanders. They did not sign him. Last summer, he went to Minnesota's prospects camp on a tryout. They brought him to camp. Now he's a mainstay on their team. Sets it up for Hensky. Alex Hensky bounces it down for Gagner. Tackle up for Jones. That was broken up by Zander. Now Brodziak backs up to the line and out. Final seconds now. The Minnesota penalty. Eric Belanger feeds it across to Whitney. Brodziak got in the way of that pass. It's in his feet. And Belanger able to just keep it alive. Finally, Nick Schultz fires it down.
I see a little miscommunication. Eric Belanger playing the point on the power play. Not accustomed to Brian Whitney giving that puck back and forth.
1 shot for the Oilers on that power play. Edmonton are shooting Minnesota 3-1 so far. Ryan Smith, the hit for Nugent-Hopkins. In he comes. Nugent-Hopkins feeds it across to Eberle. He shoots. Goes off the leg as Spurgeon got in the way. Eberle back with it. Drops it back in front. Nugent Hopkins stopped by Backstrom. Speed with a shot. Backstrom with save on him. Good pressure down by the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins takes the return pass neatly from Eberle. Ryan Smith flips it back in front. Eberle couldn't corral it. And now the puck comes free as Eberle lost the handle of Ladislav Schmid, has it back.
A 5-goal performance by former Edmonton Oiler Tom Bonsiak in Game 6.
Schmid drops it back to Gilbert. Ladislav Schmid setting things up, looks ahead for Gagne. The pass too far for him. Schultz goes back, but icing was waved off. Lundin up for Koivu. He finds Danny Heatley. And Heatley works his way and feeds it across, and Cal Clutterbuck pounds it wide. Heatley still hearing it from Oiler fans for refusing a trade here when he was an Ottawa Senator. Andy Sutton being harassed there by Heatley, steps away. And Sutton feathers that ahead for Horkoff. Extra move at the line, and Edmonton has to regroup. Horkoff up ahead for Jones, who sweeps that in. And Backstrom leaves it there for Lundin. Long pass for Gillies at the linesman. And now Colton Gillies looks ahead for Setaguchi. That pass misfires. Then Jones taps it back. Ryan Whitney, long pass for Magnus Pajärvi. Goes back to Belanger. He can't handle it. And Gillies is back the other way. Trying to find David McIntyre, but that pass is up in the crowd, and we're back to Edmonton after this.
Game 7.
Nicholas Nicholas Backstrom tested early by the Edmonton Oilers, and like he has throughout his career, he has the answer right off a rush play. Ryan Smith buys a little time, but he knows who he wants to get that puck to, and it's Ryan Nugent Hopkins who creates the spacing for Eberle to get a good opportunity. But they don't stop there, and Nugent Hopkins beats a check off the boards, back to the front of the net for another chance on Nicholas Backstrom. He's made a few good saves here, moving well, fighting through the traffic, getting down quickly, keep the Edmonton Oilers scoreless.
Backstrom coming off an excellent game against the Tampa Bay Lightning on Monday. One goal on 33 shots as the Tuesday beat the Bolts 3-1. Sutton stepped up there. And back goes Ryan Smith with Pierre-Marc Bouchard rushing in. He moved by Sutton to play up for Eberle. And the puck comes free at center ice. Ryan Smith hit for Nugent Hopkins, and Marco Scandella took that away. Bouchard back the other way for Minnesota. Drops it off for Cullen, working in. His shot was blocked as Andy Sutton got in the way. Now a long drive from well out by Stoner goes off the leg and wide. Setaguchi back on it. Feeds across to Cullen. Cullen sends it back in front, and Happy Golden sweeps that away. Eberle being harassed there by Setaguchi, steps away from him. And Jordan Eberle flips that in deep as Stoner goes back. Greg Shannon, long pass ahead to Johnson as he finds Brodziak. The play is offside. Magnus Pajärvi works in, long shot, Backstrom hangs on to that. The Oilers will be 20. They can come on the stretch in reasonable position. Wild should be in great shape down the stretch. Puck goes up another play. Last year, Sting,
As well known as is truly an elite.
and Chip and Summer had to finish the military service. He has till age 30 to do it, and the 28-year-old boy would finish it up this summer. Ladislav Schmid brings it ahead and flips that down in the Minnesota zone. Horkoff looking for it. So Dick Schultz steps in front of him. Schmid tried to seal the wall. Hensky able to hold it and fires it back in. Horkoff leaves Lundin a whack. And Lundin plays it out to center ice for Heatley. Danny Heatley scores his first game as a member of the line. Only has 5 goals in 23 games since. Horkoff swings out ahead for Hensky. Moving in with Gagne. The centering pass is blocked by Backstrom, and he'll hang on.
Minnesota Wild have been maybe the surprise of this early regular season. And you look at their stats. First, the Western Conference. You can stop right there. Mike Yeo has got his team doing everything right, sacrificing all little things, block shots. They've already reeled off 2 5-game winning streaks. What you have to do to climb up the standings that are so bunched up. And they're banking the points now that they'll need when they go on this extended sequence of games on the road.
Mike Yeo guided Minnesota's farm team, the Houston Aeros, to the Calder Cup Final Series last year in the American League. Prior to that, he was an assistant coach for 5 years with the Pittsburgh Penguins, won a Stanley Cup with them in 2009. Hornacek out of the box after his fighting lead to a long shot, and Baxter hangs on to that, and Ryan O'Mara gives Bax a bit of a snow shower, and Hornacek in there as well. That'll draw a crowd.
Fourth line's out there doing what they do. Scrum it up. Trying to start up. Ryan O'Mara just gets the call up. Oklahoma City. Bring a little size in on the fourth line centerman position. Some physicality and some energy. The one will probably be limited minutes.
Former first-round pick of the New York Islanders. He came to Edmonton as part of the package that sent Ryan Smith to the Islanders. Smith will step into the face-off against Keller. And a draw control by Minnesota as Spurgeon steps away with it. Takes that off the boards and skips down to the Oilers zone and just crawls across the line. That'll be icing against the Wild. Across the line, that'll be icing against the Wild. James Duffy has another update for us. Yzerman's homecoming to Detroit for the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Scandella trying to fire that out. Andy Sutton gets in the way of that. Now here's Eberle in the corner. Lifts it back for Nugent Hopkins. And Nugent Hopkins dipping and diving, drops it down for Eberle. Eberle with some time down low. Feeds across to Sutton. Sends it back door. Score! Right! And Nugent Hopkins dipping and diving, drops it down for Eberle. Eberle with some time down low. Corner. Drops it down for Eberle. Eberle with some time down low. Feeds across to Sutton. Sends it across. Score!
It's an easy tap-in for Nugent Hopkins.
4 goals in his last 6 games. That was 11th of the year. And Eberle and Sutton and the Oilers have a 1-0 lead. Lifts it back for Nugent Hopkins. And Nugent Hopkins dipping and across the...
And Isaac, it'll get sucked into Ryan Smith in the high slot. Nugent Hopkins tries to fly ice on the back door. Nicholas Baxter gets down. The second one pushes in a shot. And it's an easy tap-in for Nugent Hopkins.
4-goal in Chicago. Nugent Hopkins adds to his...
See, Nugent Hopkins, all he needs to do is get the puck, then he's fine. You see the space that he can create, stopping and starting, and it just gets lost. Supporting the puck down low and then creeps over behind the net. Very good look from Andy Sutton. Pretty easy tap-in.
When the Oilers played Nashville here the other night, Predators coach Barry Trotz admonished Mike Fisher and said, "The kid's owning you." And Fisher reportedly shot back with, "The kid's pretty good." Nugent Hopkins and the Oilers are going to the power play when we come back. Back in Edmonton, where the Oilers' Sean Horkoff spoke to Mike Johnson a moment ago.
Sean, your line was doing so well. Taylor Hall goes out. How does that change the dynamic of the line?
Well, it's, when you got such a dynamic player like Halsey is, it's going to change a little bit, but, Sam jumped in tonight. I thought he's done a real good job. He's been playing real good as of late, and, it's going to be up to us to just try to get some offense and get things going.
We'll have to talk about what you can bring to the young guys in your leadership and experience, but what have they brought to your game this year?
Yeah, this is, a sense of excitement, just tons of energy. I think it's easy to play with these guys, and, they love being at the rink every day, and they remind you, fortunate we are to be in this position. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, man.
Kyle Brodziak offered tripping, and the Oilers are back on the power play. Nugent Hopkins feeds it down to Horkoff. Looking at front, Backstrom able to gobble up that pass as Ryan Smith
it was
waiting back door.
Lots of movement on that backside. Sean Horkoff, Nugent Hopkins, lots of options as both Ryan Smith and Jordan Eberle trying to find a seam in behind Mike Ledin and Mikko Koivu. And Nicholas Backstrom and Ledin do a good job stopping that one from getting across.
Horkoff against Cullen on the faceoff. Edmonton up shooting Minnesota 8-2 so far. And Cullen wins another faceoff that allows the Wild to clear.
For the Oilers.
Oilers were last in the league in faceoff percentage last year. 7.
Let's see if the series.
Hopkins did across the line. Sets things up.
Scoring 3 goals in the first.
Gilbert sends it back to Nugent Hopkins. Working in on Powell. Drops it down to Horkoff. Loose puck and Cullen will clear that.
You already see the chemistry that Nugent Hopkins is getting at the half wall. Like Peter Forsberg used to get there. Almost afraid to challenge him because he'll be able to feather that pass between you. Like I said, Gucci's just frozen. Don't want to get too close to Horkoff's passing lanes.
Belanger moves ahead for Edmonton. Big hit there is Stoner unloaded on Belanger. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Ryan Whitney pounds it in. And Belanger skates by the puck. Now Ryan Jones on it. That pass that the referee just laying there allows the Wild to clear. Here they come short-handed. Here comes McIntyre with a shot that was deflected wide by Whitney. Wild have 4 short-handed goals already this season. And now Whitney feeds it ahead to Gagne. Sam Gagne. Drops it down to Jones. That hard pass bounces right back to him.
6 guys out there, Gord. 6 guys.
Yes, the Oilers have 6 skaters on the ice, and that has been detected. So the power play will end with 20. Jones. That hard pass bounces right back to him.
As usual, and that was a bet.
Face off again. The last face.
I asked him before, they're still making them for him, but he just has old patches lying around. He says, no, they're still breaking up the new ones for him.
Brodziak steps out of the box, so the Wild are on their first power play as Koivu sets it up. Mikko Koivu drops it back for Spurgeon. Cross he goes to Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Throws that back to Koivu. Shoots a little slap pass looking backdoor for Brodziak missed. And Horkoff has it short-handed. He'll dump it into the Oilers. Will change penalty killers. Under 7 to go now in the opening period.
3-1 hockey. 3-0 hockey.
Coming across the line, feeds that across to Heatley.
Tied the series at 2 games apiece.
Danny Heatley. Spins away from Jones, but Jones can't clear it. Bouchard for Heatley. Back to Koivu. Koivu to Bouchard. Across to Spurgeon. Drops it back to Bouchard with a shot. Goes off a leg and wide as Petrie got in the lane. Koivu. Back to Spurgeon again with the puck popped off his stick and out. Bouchard drops it off for Koivu. He finds Scandella. Hard shot and Javi Bulin got a pad on that. Petrie leaves it there for Schmid. Hard off the glass by Koivu and out. Minnesota's power play ranked 23rd in the league. Devin Setaguchi, who's out there now, leads the Wild with 3 power play goals. They do not yet have a shot on this man advantage. Setaguchi, Lundin. Here's Scandella with a drive that was blocked by Petrell. And as he does that, the puck goes off his leg and out of
Chance. And he
wasn't counted as a shot. Here's a Javi Bulin did appear to make the save. Lundin back for Schultz. Off to Setaguchi. And Hemsky steps out of the box after serving the bench minor. Here's a jam play in front. Nick Johnson looking for it. Javi Bulin makes the stop. The Oilers clear it down, but this will be icing as Lundin goes back. Oilers to go once, looks ahead this year. Belanger won that battle for the puck. Whitney looks ahead for Smith, but Spurgeon kept it alive for Minnesota. Kicked out by Ryan Smith as Setaguchi has it. Setaguchi lost the puck to Hemsky, and Alex Hemsky across the line, in for Gagne. Sam Gagne to Alex Hemsky, trying to feed that across. Setaguchi got away. Hemsky gets it back and fans on the job. And the Wild stuck on 2 shots on goal with under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Here's a steal now by Gillers. Walks it and shoots, and Happy Fuller makes the point. Right save on him. 1-0. The Oilers lead here in the first. Through the middle. Greg Zanon has it. Zanon for Stoner. Through the middle, Darryl Powell takes a return pass from Brodzak, and Magnus Payarvi stepped in front of him. Payarvi's dad, Gunnar Svensson, is here tonight. Big hit as Ryan Jones belted down Powell. The Oilers come back the other way. Payarvi with a shot. Rebound loose in front. And it's tripled wide off the stick of the Oilers, Theo Peckham.
Penalty coming back to the Oilers, I think, on that one.
Payarvi goes back, and they're going to call interference on the Oilers. With 3:42 to go in the opening period, Ryan Jones will go off.
Ryan Jones is trying to get to the front of the net on what was a 4-on-2. Long 4-on-2 by the Edmonton Oilers. Magnus Payarvi elects to shoot this on net, simplify things.
Backstrom played that to Spurgeon, who went Ryan Smith all over him. And now Spurgeon brings it ahead. Averaging 23 minutes a game now over the last month for Minnesota. In comes Clutterbuck with a shot. That's knocked away by Javi Bulin. Back he goes to Spurgeon. Bouchard drops it off to Heatley. Back pass to Bouchard. The long shot. Pinball's down to Heatley, and Javi Bulin squeezes that. Back pass to Bouchard. The long shot. Pinball's down to Heatley. Bulin squeezes that. Ladislav Schmidt comes in with a cross check on number 6.
Minnesota.
A 2-man advantage for
2-man advantage.
Schmid cross-check Clutterbuck in the face.
Big opportunity for the Minnesota Wild, who've been outplayed throughout this first period. Clutterbuck was on the first line, on the first power play unit, because he's played so well this year. Gets to the front of net, and they work it around. As the puck finds play back into the shooting area to Danny Heatley, and good save by Nikolai Javi-Bulin. Sticks get up, and then it's a glove to the face of Cal Clutterbuck. Dave Jackson right there to make the call. It's a punch to the chin that you can't do when you're down a man.
Koivu, Setaguchi, and Heatley up front. Bouchard and Spurgeon on the back end. Tom Gilbert goes off the glass, and Bouchard can't hold the line as Horcock comes in. Sean Horcock. A 2-man disadvantage.
One goal in game 6.
Minutes ago in the first penalty to Ryan Jones, rather. Now Heatley on it. Spurgeon. Feeds that down to Koivu. Koivu tries to center it. Peckham has it and fires it down the ice.
Good skate by Tom Gilbert. Down on the ice and right back up. Knocked on the pass.
The shot and the save by Devin Tillman.
2 men 7 times this year have allowed 1 goal. Bouchard crisscrossing with Spurgeon. Backdoor feed for Setaguchi, hopped away from him. Now Spurgeon down to Setaguchi. Spurgeon. Bouchard winds and fires, goes off the stick of Peckham to wide, that broke Peckham's stick. Now it's a 5-on-2.5. Spurgeon to Bouchard. Down to Koivu. Back to Spurgeon with a shot that goes wide. Javi-Bulin can't glove it. Final seconds of the Jones penalty. Bouchard knocks the puck down. Jones is out. Bouchard tries to feed that in front, and Jones out of the box, moves ahead short-handed. Oilers getting a change as Jones comes in and his poke check taken there by Spurgeon. This is Tillman. The Oilers stymie that and fire it down the ice. 20 seconds to go
seconds ago. 3-0 first period.
Cullen
And
cuts across the line, drops it off to Graziak.
on Dancer.
Marco Scandella with a shot at heavy. They're going to follow the shot. Graziak looks there for Cullen. And Graziak gets rid of speed, comes back on the ice. So the Oilers survive a long time on speed. Petrie shot his man Graziak down and clears it down the ice. Minnesota had 3 shots on goal with an extended power play. Now Clutterbuck. Knee on knee with Ryan Whitney. Play continues. Smith. Everly. Jordan Everly. Jordan back in front with Whitney. Clutterbuck was just off into the Minnesota bench.
Look at 6. At the playoffs.
Foul goes wide. Bad blood starting to build once again between Edmonton and Minnesota. Here's Kelly trying to wrap it around and Whitney knocks down around. Final seconds of the opening period. Wow, that can still scream.
Oh, what a save!
He's tucked down like Pistol. And the puck is up to center ice. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has the only goal. As the Oilers lead it 1-0, out shooting Minnesota 9-6. Coming up, our first edition with your host, James Duffy. That Aaron Ward. Well, Mike, the headline for the first break to say Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores his 11th of the year, but the 2-man advantage for 16 seconds that the Oilers killed is also a big part of the story.
A big part. One of the many areas that the Edmonton Oilers have improved on this year has been their penalty kill, and they use that to really protect what was a very good period. A minute 16, doing all the little things. Sean Horlock out there winning face-offs, pressuring pucks, killing ice time. And Kelly Buckler is in charge of the penalty kill, and he's got this guy doing all the little things, not over-chasing, overextending themselves, keeping the bodies in the right places, sticks in the right lanes, and then doing a good job getting pucks all the way down. That minute 16 was a pivotal point in this period, and Edmonton did a good job killing it off.
Last year, the Edmonton Oilers 29th in the league on the penalty kill. They've been the bottom 5 of penalty killing for each of the last 5 years. But this year, it climbed to 9th. And of course, their power play, a big story as well. So teams begin the second period 5-on-5 with the Oilers holding the 1-0 lead.
In game 7.
59% of the faceoffs in the opening
champ
period with the opening draw of the second. Sam Gagner.
Game 7. 3 games apiece of the series.
A quick shot at Baxter comes back to take that away from him. And Gagner. The goal streak now reaching 20 consecutive games. Danny Healy got melted down and behind the play by Vladislav Schmid. And now Gagner jumps on the loose puck. Gagner feed ahead to Hemsky, but the play is offside.
Sam Gagner.
Feed ahead to Hemsky, but the play is offside.
No item in the keyboard shortcut. No item in the YouTube video player.
Rock and roll's well documented. You see his frustration heading to the bench. He almost gets one off a straight bounce off the end wall here. Nicholas Backstrom does a good job following this one and getting across. It looked like there was going to be some room there initially. Sam Gagner gets a slap this one, trying to get it upstairs. He's got to have that in the top corner and hope to bank it in off the shoulder of Nicholas Backstrom. Middle of the net's not going to get it done. Upstairs, he's got to have that in the top corner and hope to bank it in off the shoulder of Nicholas Backstrom. Middle of the net's not going to get it done.
Matt Cullen was 7-2 in the face-off circle in the opening period, but that time he gets beaten by Nugent-Hopkins.
No item in the No item.
With 4 goals.
Picks his way ahead slowly.
This entire
pass for first round. Setaguchi to handle. Now Setaguchi steps into Pekka. Jordan Everly quickly across to Ryan Smith. Back to Everly.
Ryan Smith.
Everly fell that football as the Smith swings it in 4. Now feels back below the goal line. Going out from Shine.
1-5. Game 6.
Sandin banks it out. Setaguchi away with
Some comeback.
Everly came back and lifted down. It was
5-4 loss.
And Gucci takes a whack for Gucci gets free. Gucci feeds
And
in
then
front.
10
Side to go Everly. Oilers are changing. Ryan Smith buys some time and feeds it down to the Minnesota zone. Oilers here on Friday. In Calgary on Saturday. We're back-to-back home games for the Oilers.
Second round matchup against the Leafs on Monday.
Puts his way ahead, steps away from the Oilers and feeds it in. He's on to Johnson. Wins the battle for the puck and plays it across for Joe. Jumping in is Payarvi. Magnus Payarvi streaking across the line with Belanger. Posts up and shoots off the outside of the goal. And Joe makes the save. Backhands again. Third try, that's tapped away. That time by Scandella. And Spurgeon back on it. The Wild Jones. The Wild back the other way. Bobsiak with a drive. How do you do the save? And Johnson got a piece of the rebound.
That makes the save.
Hornacek for Edmonton. Backhand shot. Stop by Backstrom. And now the rebound.
What a start.
Taking up here in the second period.
Wanted to come for a long change, Gord. Guys getting caught trying to get on and off the ice. Letting guys slip in behind them.
David McIntyre made his NHL debut on Monday night against
NHL debut.
87 sick flying by Colton Gilly.
That makes 200 saves.
Robert sick flying by his old friend Hornacek. And look out, McIntyre steps in the corner. Got the stick on his hand, but that's about it. And McIntyre brings it back. Oilers lost their first 4 games this year against Northwest Division teams and led all 4. All of a sudden now they're pretty strong against their divisional opponents. Heatley 3-3. When serenaded once again as he chips that down to the Edmonton zone. Hemsky goes back north. Leaves it there for Schmid. Up for Horkoff.
No item of possible shirt. No item of
on the collision. Knock it down with a high stick.
And one of the talking points heading into this game was what happened last time these two teams played between Brad Stovitz and Darcy Hornacek. They fought in the first period, and if you don't think they know on each other on the ice, that's Darcy Hornacek standing up Brad Stovitz, and then, of course, having something to say to him. Darcy Hornacek knows the marked man. McIntyre takes a run on him as well, and he knocked him down. And that's the kind of energy that he can bring to his team and into the building.
For game 7.
Hornacek missed 16 games this year with a knee injury. Oh, was another face-off for Schultz. That's fired down to the Oilers zone. As Cullen jumps on a loose puck. Gets it back and leaves it down there for Gucci. He finds Bouchard and Andy Sutton steps hard in the head. Bouchard though fights off the jet. Everly taken down. He finds Nugent Hopkins. And Smith taps it back to him, but the play's offside. As Ryan Smith jumped the guard.
Obviously,
Notice sitting
No
in
item.
Nick Johnson.
up and
No
under
item.
the big...
He finds Nugent Hopkins.
who still have yet to register a shot on net in this period. Pierre-Marc Bouchard, obviously much smaller than Andy Sutton, but look how he gets his hip underneath Andy Sutton's stick, gains the leverage to protect the puck and get that backhand chance.
9
Just by Happy Bullen. That is how smaller guys can get up and under the bigger defenders.
No item.
Get across the line with his shoot in the
No item.
well. And Nick Johnson touches up, and we've got a roughing call. Coming to the Wild is Greg Shannon will be the man going on for Minnesota, sending Edmonton to the power play.
Magnus Payarvi generates it with his speed. Greg Zanin just gets a little straight arm up into his face as he tries to slow him down on the forecheck. Payarvi stick into his own chin. The demonstrative reaction draws the penalty, but Magnus Payarvi's been skating good tonight. And when you're not scoring, you can still use your speed to generate positive results. He's skating good tonight.
No item.
When you're not
YouTube video
scoring, you
player.
can still
No
use
item.
your speed to
YouTube video
generate
player.
positive results when drawing penalties.
No item.
Reaction draws the penalty, but Magnus Payarvi's been skating good tonight. And when you're not scoring, you can still use your speed to generate positive results, like drawing penalties.
No item to YouTube video player. No item to possible church technique.
So far.
3-0.
Tom Gilbert finds his way ahead.
Tom
Gilbert drops it on for Nugent Hopkins. Quickly ahead for Eberle. Jordan Eberle banks it off the end boards to Ryan Smith. Schultz steps in front of Eberle, but he gets back to the bouncing clock. Feeds it back to Horkoff.
7. Here
Eberle
in
heels away
Ritz.
from Powell. Down to Horkoff. Back to Nugent Hopkins. Ryan Smith fighting for space in front. Nugent Hopkins back to
And makes another save.
No item to YouTube video player. No item to YouTube video player.
steps in front of Eberle, but he gets back to bouncing clock. Feeds it back to Horkoff. Eberle heels away from Powell. Down to Horkoff. Back to Nugent Hopkins. Ryan Smith fighting for space in front. Smith. Schultz steps and pulls away from Powell.
Space.
Back to Nugent Hopkins. Ryan Smith fighting for space in front. Nugent Hopkins back to a pass. Eberle scores! Away from Powell. Down to Horkoff. Back to Horkoff.
What kind of skills that
Drops deal by Powell, but the puck regathered by Gagne. Sam Gagne takes a couple of whacks and fires it down to Minnesota zone. Gillies, knocked down by Hordichuk, gives him a whack. Now Zanin. Got Petrell step into him, but the Oilers once again gather up the loose puck.
back pressure to the neutral zone by the Edmonton Oilers are giving Minnesota no time to make any plays on the rush.
YouTube video player. No item to behind.
Goals on 11 shots. Steal save right back. Shot. A good chance. Now fired in by Gillies. And the Bruins steal that away. Petrie has it for Edmonton. Pass up along the wall, intercepted. Cullen has it, drops it back to Schultz. And Schultz for a long shot. That just missed wide.
Shot.
Lundin looks down low for Gillies. And Colton Gillies tries to find out Belanger. And the puck comes straight to Petrie. Petrell just missed by Seneguchi. And now a lead pass for Bouchard, who's in behind the order defense, but Happy Bullen steers that away. Cullen in across the line with Bouchard and Seneguchi. Devin Seneguchi in, shoots. Happy Bullen makes the stop on in. Now Spurgeon has to hustle back with Eberle bearing down. Long pass to Bouchard. Ryan Smith got a stick on that. And Speed goes across to Gilbert. Boy, when the Oilers get going, Mike, the pace is really something to watch, isn't it?
It is very fast down here and back and forth. The spacing of this line in particular, and that's the Nugent Hopkins and Smith.
Speed 1.25.
Impressive.
Now Powell pounds at it. And Gilbert looks ahead to Smith. Ryan Smith plays it ahead for Nugent Hopkins. Hangs on to that.
No item to YouTube. No item to behind.
3-0.
Nugent Hopkins has exploded onto the scene, but his games continue to improve. Here is Ryan Richard with more.
Yeah, Gord, there isn't much to criticize in Ryan Nugent Hopkins' game. The one area where he has struggled a little bit is in the face-off circle. He's under 20% in his first 10 or so games. I talked to him about it today. Said he's got to stick with the backhand. Even if he's on the forehand side of the ice, said the backhand is where he's had the most success. Both of the draws he's won tonight, just 2 of 6 came on the backhand. Said he tries to get down lower and push hard. That allows him to make up for some of the strength difference between him and his opponents.
If you look at face-off stats in the league, Mike, invariably the top guys are over 30.
All veteran guys who not only have the strength, but just the experience, know the opponents, know the linesmen. It's a very learned skill and an important one.
Hopkins is under 40% a year. Really looking for something to criticize. We're going to talk about that.
Speed 1.75.
Keep up there by Heatley, who's a pretty night for Minnesota thus far. Speed, back for Gilbert. Took the out for Hemsky, but Alex Hemsky is going off the change and just chips that down in Minnesota's area.
Possible church technique.
Johnson. Bouchard tries to chip it ahead, and Petrie goes back. To Yarby. Knocks that down. Minnesota's on Stoner going back. The icing against the Oilers, and we'll send you to, is it Aaron Ward or James Duffy with the update? Yarby.
No item. No item in the YouTube video player group.
The icing against the Oilers, and we'll send you to, is it Aaron Ward or James Duffy with the update? All the speculation of Bobby Ryan in Anaheim potentially being trade made. The Oilers with 5 guys whose first name is Ryan. And of course, all the speculation of Bobby Ryan in Anaheim potentially being trade made. The Oilers with 5 guys whose first name is Ryan. I said to Tom Rennie, when you say Ryan, you're up. Who do you mean? He says, whoever's ready, just go. Ryan Whitney goes across to Petrie. Look out, Petrie's centering pass crosses way down on Minnesota stick as he hit the side of the net with that. And now Petrie gathers it back up and finds Yarby. Belanger in across the line with Ryan Jones, but way up in the air. And Scandella hands that to McIntyre. Wow, slammed there by Belanger into an open door in front of the Edmonton bench, and he's shaking out. Wow, in the Minnesota bench. McIntyre comes in. A very dangerous play in front of the Oiler bench. Lundin fires it in. Bouchard leaves it there for Johnson. Petrie takes a whack at that. And Ryan Jones backhands out to center ice. Bouchard tries to flip it ahead. And Petrie on it. Look out, almost put that on Johnson's stick. And then Schultz goes across to Bouchard. Back in for Nick Schultz. He finds Cullen. Then Peckham steps into him. 9.5 to go in the second period. Oilers out shooting Minnesota 13-8. Jordan Eberle.
3-0 hockey game. Game 7. With the Oilers
down there. Nugent Hopkins causing problems for Schultz, and Cullen has it. Now picked off by Nugent Hopkins. Fires it down as Ryan Smith goes looking for it. And Smith steps into his man Lundin. Nugent Hopkins flips that ahead to Smith. Peels back, tried to jam it, but lost the puck. Now Eberle has it. Feeds it back to Schmid. In for Nugent Hopkins. Back in front to Eberle with a shot that goes just wide. Every time he's on the ice, Ryan Nugent Hopkins makes something happen. Now, off the bench comes Horcoff. He's on the ice. Ryan Nugent Hopkins makes something happen. Now off the bench comes Horcoff. Winds and fires back to make the save.
And makes a save by
comes in from Ryan Smith. Edmonton up 2-0. Where Matt Cullen of the Wild spoke with our Mike Johnson a moment ago.
Hey, Matt, it's been tough generating offense. What do you guys have to do to create some chances on the Edmonton Oilers here?
Well, we're just not playing very well. You know, we got to get on. We got to get on the hunt a little bit better. Last 2 shifts have been a little better, but you know, we got to get pucks in better places and get it on them more.
And the year in general, you're off to a good start. What is it about being in Minnesota that's been such a good fit for you?
Well, number one, it's home for me, and you know, the style of hockey that we're playing now really suits my game, and you know, I have a lot of fun playing.
All right, thanks, Matt.
And make no mistake about it, in Minnesota, homegrown players matter.
6.
In comes Mikko Koivu, spins away from Schmid, looks in front for Healy, scores! Minnesota, home spins away from Schmid, looks in front for Healy, scores!
Oiler fans cheering for Cal Brodziak on the 5-goal performance. He has his 9-3-1.
No item in the YouTube video player group. Possible short hockey button. YouTube video player group. No item in the YouTube video player group.
Mikko Koivu looking to generate some offense, and it's a quick strike offense for the Minnesota Wild. As the puck is entered in on the wall, Mikko Koivu stops up, and Devin Setoguchi just gets himself free from Tom Gilbert enough to loosen his stick up
tip that one through his feet and through Javi Boulin's legs. Look at that feed as everyone else is thinking Danny Heatley's on the back door. And it just squeaks through Nicola Javi Boulin. That's a good job by freeing himself from Tom Gilbert. Right instant for the tip.
And the 8th goal of the year for Seneguchi ties him with cover for the team lead. And so Wild now within the lead. Seneguchi, of course, going through Redbirds in the offseason. Seneguchi signed a 3-year contract with the Sharks and was traded the next day. Payarvi works his way in backhand shot stopped by Baxter. Ryan Jones looks down for Belanger, and Ryan Jones again with a steamroll job. This time on Powell. And Powell, who was shaken up earlier in a hard collision in front of the Edmonton bench, once again goes back slowly to the Minnesota bench. 15-9, the shots for Edmonton. Oilers lead 2-1. Here's a chance now for Gillies, but Peckham got a stick on that. Knocked down by Spurgeon, fires. Javi Boulin makes the stop. And Ryan Smith gathers up the rebound. Everly, punched there by Gillies. And Nugent Hopkins feeds ahead to Smith. Ryan Smith across the line, lost the handle. And Gillies stepped hard into Nugent Hopkins. Peckham. For Ryan Smith, who chips that down in Minnesota zone. Spurgeon goes back for it. And Bouchard can't chip it out. Here's Ryan Smith on it. Smith gets loose behind the goal. Flips it out for Everly. And now a penalty as Everly touches the puck. An interference call coming to Edmonton. And Andy Sutton will go off.
Just trying to get involved in the offensive zone. It's already doesn't like the look of that as Minnesota started to take control of this second period. Andy Sutton trying to creep in. There's Colton Gillies' little shot in the back while trying to get open. And that is an easy one for the referees to call.
Wild 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. That includes a minute and 16 seconds of 5-on-3 time. Koivu, Seneguchi, and Heatley up front. Bouchard and Spurgeon on the back end. Belanger wins the faceoff, and the Oilers bang it out. Eric Belanger brought into the offseason from Phoenix, primarily for his faceoff work. He's in the top 15 in the league in faceoff percentage. And winning that first draw on the power play. And now a penalty.
And what a save by Dennis Dubnik.
Andy Sutton will go out.
Offside call.
Trying to get involved.
3-1 Oilers.
The last guy on the ice you'd expect to turn the puck over and neutral ice and do that against the...
As you'd expect,
So
Mike Johnson.
No item. The wind draws and rips the first one away from Cody Hodgson, and that patented ballot it was a little too low, gets him in hot water, but a perfectly executed one down the right wing boards there.
Yeah, he got a penalty for that in Detroit. And Nugent Hopkins, as you mentioned, was really money in the face-off.
No item. YouTube video player group. No item.
Holker gets the draw right back to Andrews. Straight wide pass.
No item. YouTube.
Shot
No
right
item.
on. At the side of the goal, Corey Potter.
Next keyboard. 6 sliders. Slider at 56 minutes, 29 seconds, and 1 out. 56 minutes.
Before it hit the iron. Now Seneguchi plays it down. Gilbert finally back down to the Minnesota zone.
That whole chance coming from a miss clear from Ryan Jones. Puck on the half wall.
No item.
You just have to
No item. You
be solid with it, find a seam, not rush it, communicate on the ice, and make sure to get it out
No
of the
item.
blue line.
No item.
Spurgeon drops it back for Bouchard for Koivu. Heatley for Koivu. Back for Bouchard. Spurgeon set up, sends it back in front of the skate of Heatley, drops it back for Bouchard. Winds and fires. Javi Boulin save. Javi Boulin. Just able to clear it. Was Horton. Jumps in a corner.
Javi Boulin. To keep this game 3-1.
Has a look in front, finds Heatley. Heatley pulls the trigger, and Javi Boulin gets the pad on that. 30 seconds to go in this Minnesota power play. Cullen spins away from Horton.
3-1 Oilers.
Peckham pulls in front.
10-7 at Rexall Place.
Oh, and a move by Cullen. Gets it back and flips it there to Bouchard. He feeds it back for Scandella. Marco Scandella back for Brodziak. In, shoots, blocked, rebound, loose in front for Johnson. Happy moving down, he scores! Kyle Scandella. Marco Scandella back for Brodziak. Seconds to go in this Minnesota power play. Cullen spins away from Horcoff. Works around Pekka, pulls in front, hit the goal post.
That was crossbar down.
Wow, what a move by Cullen. Gets it back. Post.
That was crossbar down.
Wow, what a move by Cullen. Gets it back and flips it there for Bouchard.
Take the puck to net.
The time Brodziak
And in front of it. Motion. Face.
The line he comes, flips it across. And a pass back by Eberle. Intercepted.
Fans just listen to the atmosphere.
Pick it up is Eberle. To Nugent Hopkins. He watched there by Brodziak. Nugent Hopkins sets it up. Smith screening in front, backdoor pass. There they go. Back for great stop on Gilbert as he crept in for the blue line. And now Gilly shaken up on the penalty kill for Minnesota. Stays out there.
Saucer pass from Nugent Hopkins all the way through. Oh, the body's right on Gilbert's tape.
In comes Hemsky across the line and his pocket picked by Gillies, and he'll send it down. Belanger drops it back to Whitney. Ryan Whitney, a return pass to Belanger. That misses. Gagne gets there, along with Ryan Jones. Stoner stepped hard into Jones. At the line is Whitney. Ryan Whitney feeds it down to Gagne. Backdoor pass. In comes Hemsky. Couldn't pull the trigger. Final seconds now, the power play. Johnson's out. Whitney, the one-timer to Gagne. This time that. Hemsky to Gagne. Loose behind the Minnesota goal. Tried to feed that in front. It's batted away. And McIntyre feeds it out for Johnson. Johnson fresh out of the penalty box. Works in front. Flips it ahead and shoots. And he put it wide. And Gagne with a golf swing hacks that down to the Minnesota zone. Jared Spurgeon, great pass ahead to Cullen. In comes Cullen with a shot, and that was blocked by Petrie. And Petrie trying to feed that ahead, now stolen by Cullen. Sends it across, and a shot by Bouchard. Hit a leg in front. Back goes Scandella for it, being lined up by Ryan O'Mara. And O'Mara sends Scandella flying into the end board. Now Heatley comes back the other way. He's got to go off on a change. And O'Mara picks up the loose puck for Edmonton. Ryan O'Mara trying to drop it back. Petrell couldn't pull the trigger. And here's Sutler. Goes across to Peckham. Under 2 minutes to go now in the second period. Minnesota has beaten the Oilers twice this year, both times in shootout.
Second period,
Game
Game 7.
Last Friday in St. Paul.
The Edmonton Oilers
And back goes Schmid. There's icing
advance to the
against
second
Minnesota.
round on Tuesday.
Tonight's TSN Netcam is brought to you by Sharp, Canada's leader in big screen TVs. 60, 70, now the 80-inch. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better.
Last power play. Edmonton Oilers finally get it set up, get the puck in Nugent Hopkins' hands. He's surveying. Look at this saucer pass through all kinds of traffic right to Tom Gilbert's tape. It's amazing the vision he sees, and then Colton Gilly gets one in the face on the clearing attempt. Nugent Hopkins, every time he gets the puck on his stick, something good is happening for the Oilers.
And meanwhile, Nikolai Habibulin has an edge problem, so we'll take a look at his skate and get that repaired.
He's got a lace that goes around the toe of his skate in behind his blade, and it's been cut. You have to replace it with the
Way by Habibulin is both Gillies had a chance. That high in the...
Not necessarily.
Bouchard flips that high in the air, and a bouncing puck goes to Gillies. Turned away by Habibulin as both Gillies had a chance. He's excited about a number of the young prospects. Oklahoma City in first place in its American Hockey League division. And The Edmonton Oil Kings battling for first place. The Western Hockey League team owned by the Oilers. Here's Gagne across the line. Sam Gagne walks in, waits and shoots, and Baxter makes the save. There is no rebound. Here again, James Duthie with an update.
And Sam Gagne had a chance on a 3-on-2. Good move to get to the middle of the ice, but no confidence. He's trying to place that puck in the corner, just shooting it, letting it go with some confidence, knowing it's going to go where he wants. Shooting like a guy with no goals right now.
Final minute now of the second period as Ryan Smith got tangled up with Nick Backstrom. And how many hundreds of times have they collided over the years? It's a good thing goaltenders don't have all-star votes because Ryan Smith wouldn't get one. Nugent Hopkins walks off the half wall, slap pass in front. Eberle fired it right back through the crease. Whitney back on it. And now Koivu intercepts and looks ahead for Healy. That pass bounced away from him. Ryan Whitney for Eberle. And Nugent Hopkins turns the puck over to Brodziak. In comes Brodziak with a shot. Happy Blue with the save. A long rebound. Picked up by Nugent Hopkins. Rick Winey goes for Smith. Back in front to Eberle. He was poke checked by Stoner. And Brodziak throws down Ryan Smith. Beckham back on it. And so the Oilers build up a 2-0 lead. But the Wild, with a couple of quick goals, have pulled even 2-2 to score. As we send you to our second intermission. And Aaron Ward. Way to go, James. Way to jump back in there. This game, Michael, a divisional matchup, featured some bite, especially in the second period.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised by the physical nature of this game. Two teams that are playing hard, playing well, and given the events of their last game with Darcy Horachuk and Stavitz and all the run-ins that they had, not surprised that it spilled over. Both teams playing very hard, very physically, a lot of heavy, but mostly clean body checks, except for maybe that one Ryan Whitney's knee on Cal Clutterbuck. The Minnesota Wild not only took that physical play from the boards, but they brought it to the front of the net, and that's how they scored their 2 goals. Devin Setaguchi out-muscling Tom Gilbert, then Brodziak, Nick Johnson just throw everything into the front of the net. And that's where I think the Minnesota Wild feel they have an advantage down in front, playing hard, working for those loose pucks. So expect that physical play to continue in the third.
Chaucer 17-16 Edmonton after 2 periods of play. When these teams met on Friday night, the 5-2 Edmonton win, according to the Minnesota coaches, the chances were 22-20 Edmonton win. According to the Minnesota teams met on Friday night, the 5-2 Edmonton win. According to the Minnesota coaches, the chances were 22-22. So 44 scoring chances in that game. The old Minnesota Wild can go a month without giving up scoring chances. We have them at 11 scoring chances each for 40 minutes tonight. Steps into Lundin. He's lifted up by Healy. The Wild get something of a bad rap, don't you think, Mike, based on their history under Jacques Lemaire? That reputation still lingers.
It was goal against the precise eating slaughter.
The offensive instincts of that organization.
It was goal against
the way he coached,
no idea
he took
you guys,
over an
no
expansion team and coached them to have success with that limited
Some ideas,
roster. They don't play that same way anymore, and they haven't tried to play
like this video along with
for
30.
years.
Subscribe to Other plays on.
Vladislav Schmid through the middle. And he
keyboard
finds
shortcut
Alashevsky.
Next keyboard shortcut chip has a
He
play keyboard
peels off
shortcut
on the
button.
change as Ryan Smith goes hunting down Clayton Stoner. Stoner being pressured,
Was goal
fires it
against the
down the
precise
ice.
eating. Play keyboard shortcut button.
That'll be an early icing call against the Wild.
Minnesota Wild have to feel pretty good about themselves, the way they responded in that second period. 30 minutes of not playing well at all, down 2-0, everything going Edmonton's way, and that goal by Setaguchi really ignited them for a better finish of the second.
Well, if the Oilers get the next one, that's bad news for the Wild. They have yet to win a game this year when allowing 3 or more goals. 0-6-3.
Well, that's a strong stat, but that is the magic number for most NHL teams. Give up 3, you're likely to not get points. Give up 2, usually you do.
Especially for a team like the Wild, who are 27th in the NHL in goals for. But Coach Mike Yo saying to us before the game, it's not like they haven't had chances. They just have a number of players who are snake bit right now, Danny Heatley being one of them.
It's tough to argue given where they are in the standings, but the addition of Sadaguchi and Heatley was supposed to change that dynamic, get a couple of pure goal scorers that could convert some of these many chances that they generate. Hasn't happened to this point in the season, but when goal scorers of their caliber, they know it's only a matter of time.
Minnesota with a win tonight can vault back into first place in the NHL's overall standings. The place it held for a couple of days last week. And once again, the Wild fire it down. And that's a third icing call against Minnesota. Just as we say, they've gone away from the Jacques Lemaire hockey. They iced the puck 3 times in the first minute and 45 of the period.
And here are the 2 big additions coming in from San Jose in separate trades. Danny Heatley, Devin Sadaguchi, neither one putting up the points that they were expected to, still trying to fit into their new system. But when you're winning, it allows players like that a little more latitude as they make their transition on their new team without falling under a little bit more criticism.
Those are blockbuster deals made between San Jose and Minnesota in the summer. Don't forget, too, Minnesota acquired Charlie Coyle, former first-round pick of the San Jose Sharks, who was dynamic at the World Junior last year for the U.S. There's Puljujarvi with a shot. And the rebound cleared to the line, but not out. Petrie with a drive was off the leg of Gillies. Whitney plays that across, but the puck bounced out, and Brodziak has it. Collided with his teammate, David McIntyre. And now Gillies back on it. Gillies battling with Puljujarvi, and now Spurgeon with it. Fires that right back in. It just missed Puljujarvi's head with a shoot-in. Orkoff picks it up now for Edmonton. John Orkoff winds his way ahead. He's got Gagne streaking up with him. Orkoff was 1-on-4, finds Gagne, shoots, and Backstrom got a piece of that to knock it wide. Hemsky can't knock it down. Koivu has it for Minnesota. And Mikko Koivu goes looking for his own shooting. Tom Gilbert takes it away. And now Schmid sends Koivu sprawling. Gilbert for Gagne. That pass misfired. And Lundin shovels it back in deep. Picked up by Gilbert for Gagne. Banks out ahead for Hemsky as Nick Schultz goes back and they collide hard. And notice how careful Schultz was going in with Gagne. Schmid. Crisscrossing there with Gagne. Sam Gagne. Lines away from Heatley. Still with it. Feeds it down to Gilbert. He finds Hemsky. Alex Hemsky back for Horkoff. He shoots back from the save. Rebound goes to Gilbert. Couldn't pull the trigger. And now Gilbert has it down for Hemsky. Finds Gagne. Into a long shift for this line. Schmid to Gagne. Back in front to Horkoff with a shot. That deflects wide. Gagne back on it. Drops it back for Schmid. The next line's been standing at the bench for 30 seconds. Gilbert walks in and shoots. That deflects wide. And Hemsky can't hold the line as Schmid goes back and feeds it across to Gilbert. This exhausted forward line goes off for Edmonton.
Well, they do a good job working their defensemen in the offensive cycles. Good exchanges to sustain the offensive pressure.
Matt Cullen brings it in with Johnson. Steps away from Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard flips that down to Johnson. Back in front, bouncing puck. Cullen gets a shot away. Abby Poulin bats that away with the arm. Peckham was sent flying there by Johnson, who looks back down for Bouchard. Now Pierre-Marc Bouchard collides hard with Andy Sutton. And then Bouchard sends Sutton tumbling as Johnson picks up the puck. Tries to work it in front. Abby Poulin down. The puck loose. And Cullen got batted in the head by Peckham, and a penalty coming up to Edmonton. Theo Peckham is going off for roughing.
Matt Cullen has some words for Theo Peckham at the end of the exchange. It's been a recurring theme in the last part of the second period, and the third here is the Minnesota Wild trying to drive the front of the net, get in on top of Nikolai Habibulin. Matt Cullen, it's Nick Johnson taking Nugent Hopkins, and then the extra little shot there from Theo Peckham trying to shove Matt Cullen out of the crease area, as there is a loose puck in there. The shot in the back of the head is enough to draw the roughing penalty for Theo Peckham.
So the Wild with a power play. 4:45 into this third period. You see Is Riley Bear, number 22, the referee, one of the young officials who's splitting time between the American Hockey League and the NHL this year. And Minnesota has called timeout.
Minnesota a little depleted on the night. A couple of guys out of this game. Darryl Powell gets hit into the open door right in front of me there, and the guy gets him up on the hip. And he's struggling there, and then Cal Clutterbuck takes a knee-on-knee from Ryan Whitney. And both players are not on the bench to start the third period.
Clutterbuck did come back and take one shift after that collision.
As did Darryl Powell. And you see the extra spacing between the bodies. Usually pretty cramped on these benches in Edmonton, and lots of room down at the end here beside me.
Well, the most amazing thing perhaps about Minnesota battling for first place in the overall standings is that the Wild for 3 weeks had 3 of their top defensemen out for most of that time.
And they had Josh Harding and Nicholas Backstrom playing exceptionally well in that period.
And Marek Zaglicki, arguably their best offensive defenseman, is still out. Ryan Jones chips that down in the Minnesota zone as Spurgeon goes back. And Bouchard is on it. Setaguchi taps it back for Koivu to Spurgeon. And Jared Spurgeon fires that into the Oilers zone as Gilbert goes back. Setaguchi for Koivu. Danny Healy trying to post up in front. But Gilbert wins the battle for the puck at the line. It's held onside by Bouchard. Spurgeon shoots, and Happy Bullen makes the stop on him. What a play at the line by Bouchard to keep that alive.
How good is that hand-eye coordination from Pierre-Marc Bouchard, playing the point on the power play. He knows he's got lots of time. He sees a puck that's going to come out about his knees. One hand on his stick, kicks it out of the air, keeps it onside by the smallest of margins to generate a shot for Spurgeon.
Now Koivu steps in against Horkoff. Oilers much better on face-offs in that second period. The Wild win this one. Spurgeon shoots, and Happy Bullen pounces on the loose puck.
Pretty simple for the Minnesota Wild. Jared Spurgeon manning the point at the top of the umbrella. If he has a shooting lane, he's looking to take it on Nikolai Happy Bullen. Trying to get the big force down on the front. This one happens pretty quickly off the faceoff. Kobe wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on the Spurgeon. Didn't get the screen done in time.
YouTube video player group.
Jones off the Wild with this one. Spurgeon shoots it. Happy Bullen pounces on the loose puck.
No item in the YouTube video player group. No item in the possible shirt campaign button.
Pretty simple for the Minnesota Wild. Jared Spurgeon manning the point at the top of the umbrella. If he has a shooting lane, he's looking to take it on Nikolai Happy Bullen. Trying to get the big force down in front. This one happens pretty quickly off the faceoff. Koivu wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on the Spurgeon. He didn't get the screen done in time.
Jones off the feet.
If he has a shooting lane, he's looking
No
to
item in the
take
YouTube
it
video player group.
on
No
Nikolai
item in the
Happy
possible shirt
Bullen.
campaign button.
Trying to get the big force down in front. This one happens pretty quickly off the faceoff. Koivu wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on the Spurgeon. He didn't get the screen done in time.
Jones off the face-off win by the Oilers, fires it down. Minute 10 to go in this Minnesota power play. Jared Spurgeon scored his first career NHL goal against his hometown team, the Oilers, last year. Plays it across to Koivu, and Setaguchi taps it in. Schmid gets the loose puck, puts it by the head of Danny Heatley and down the ice.
Setaguchi looking for a soft chip there, but he has to know Koivu doesn't have the speed to get that loose puck. He's got to eat it on the half wall. Look for some support.
Spurgeon drops it back for Bouchard. Ahead he goes for Cullen with a shot, and Happy Bullen knocks that away with a blocker. Now Cullen falls in the corner. Johnson has it. Crisscrossing with Heatley. Spurgeon feeds it across to Bouchard, who chips it down for Cullen. That's batted up by Gilbert. 25 seconds to go in the Minnesota power play, and O'Mara almost stole the puck. Johnson for Brodziak. Kyle Brodziak shoots, bad save by Happy Bullen. For Brodziak. Kyle Brodziak shoots, bad save by Happy Bullen. Lifts the puck down the ice.
No item in the YouTube video shirt campaign button.
4 shots on goal for Minnesota on that power play, which ends as Peckham steps back on the ice. pass for Brodziak, who chips that down to the Oilers zone. He steps hard to Whitney. Petrie sent flying as Ryan Smith sidesteps his man and sends it out. Horkoff taps it back, but the puck leaves the zone, and Stavitz has it. Petrie through the middle for Gagne, and Sam Gagne finds a streaking shot. Horkoff in, poked in by Malcolm. Shot's clean. Jackson's lost his stick. And the Wild will clear the puck out. That allows their goaltender to retrieve his stick after a great dash in by Sean Horkoff. Wild now out shooting the Oilers 23-20, but Horkoff with a 5-star chance. Gucci plays that down to the Edmonton. Steps away from Colby. He had a sweet assist in the first period. Minnesota has 6 outbreaks on its roster. So Gucci from the southern part of the province. Sutton lifts that high in the air. Back goes Stoner for it. A long time between whistles now in the third period.
See the Minnesota Wild now just stretching it out. Look for a hard pass up for a little soft chip to the offensive zone. Not really getting anything done to the neutral zone right now.
They're trying to pull that puck ahead. And Schmid finally sends it out. Ryan Smith and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins work their way in. Everybody was the trailer, but Bouchard took it away for Johnson. Johnson with a shot blocked by Ryan Whitney. Johnson back on it. Back into Smith. Bouchard for Scandella at the line. Spurgeon shoots off the end boards it goes. And Petrie plays over on the wall. Picked up by Nugent-Hopkins. Back in deep it goes to Cullen. And Cullen hammered down there by Petrie. Nugent-Hopkins brings it out. Flips it ahead for Playarvi as the Oilers are changing. Magnus Playarvi works in. Steps away from Scandella, but Scandella seals him hard. Now Belanger. Back he goes to Pekka. Theo Pekka works in and shoots, and Backstrom through the traffic is able to make the save. 10:28 to go here in the third.
There is the connection that almost struck for the Edmonton Oilers. Sam Gagne to Sean Horkoff, as it was a beautiful saucer pass, just the right velocity to keep Horkoff onside but spring him in. And Nicholas Backstrom recognizes Horkoff is struggling to control that puck, has his head down, looking for it, and gets a poke check out there to take it away from the backhand from Sean Horkoff.
2-2 the score with 10.5 to go in the third period. Ryan Jones shoots. Backstrom kicks that away. And now Michael Undine is limping to the Minnesota bench. So the Wild have already lost 2 forwards. Now a D is going off. David McIntyre on it for Minnesota. Plays it there for Gillies. 4th line out for Minnesota. Gillies battles there with Petrie. Gillies a healthy scratch on Monday night against Tampa. Being the Wild won 3-1. But Coach Mike Yeo felt that the Wild needed more speed in the lineup tonight to match the Oilers. Gillies turns it over to Playarvi, and Magnus Playarvi comes speeding in. Backhands that on goal. Backstrom makes the save, and he'll hang on. Well, your chance to enter the $1 million shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can take to the ice at the World Juniors in Edmonton and try to win a Chevrolet Volt and $1 million. Visit tsn.ca/Volt to enter before it's too late. And the start of the World Junior Hockey Championship just over 3 weeks away. Team Canada opens camp on December the 10th in Calgary. The selection camp will last until the 14th, and 3 pre-tournament games and the opener on Boxing Day here. As the 2012 World Junior will get underway. That will send the Oilers in flames on an extended road trip. Puck knocked down by Gagne. Feeds back in front of Horkoff with a shot. And the rebound steered away by Backstrom. Back it goes to Gilbert. Or Schmid. Back in for Horkoff. A hard pass down to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. Off the handle. And Koivu can't get it by Hemsky. Hemsky to an open wing. And Stoner on it for Minnesota. Up for Heatley. The pass too far for him. Gilbert able to spring Hemsky, but the puck bounced off his stick. Now the Wild fire it down. Icing waved off.
Gilbert just didn't see him in time. Hemsky couldn't afford to slow down to get that pass in the right position. Otherwise, he would have been caught.
Sutton banks out ahead. The pass too far for Eberle. And Cullen plays it back to the Oilers zone. Now Sutton tries Eberle again. Chips it neatly for Smith. Ryan Smith trying to get him behind Scandella. And the puck bounces into the slot where Cullen picks it up. Bouchard puts it ahead for Cullen. And now Peckham and Cullen collide hard. Eberle. Up along the boards. Intercepted by Johnson. Sends it in front. Cullen 2 whacks at it. And Happy Bullen steered that away. Nugent Hopkins put that right to stick of Bouchard. And Pierre-Marc Bouchard for Johnson. Long shot goes off a stick. Up and out of play. 8:04 to go here in the third period. Oilers and Wild tied at 6-1. Well, tonight Ryan Smith plays his 795th game as an Edmonton Oilers. Kelly Buckner was at 4, but Edmonton's all-time hit. Kelly Buckner is right behind him as an assistant coach on the Oilers bench. And he scored. Spot held by the only man ever to play 1,000 games in a uniform. Points. Kevin Lowe, now the president of hockey operations here in Edmonton.
And you probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a managerial position with the Oilers whenever he has finished playing several years from now.
There's Lundin with a shot that goes out the leg. Second time looks down for Gilly. Turn it over to McIntyre. Trying to feed that in front. Swung away by Happy Bullen. Kevin Lowe over 1,000 games for the Oilers and 3,000 hard practices. One of the most vicious practice players you've ever seen in your life.
The way he practiced, off his stick several times in and around the net. He carried a heavy one. Wasn't afraid to swing around.
Gretzky once asked who's the hardest defenseman he ever played against. He said Kevin Lowe in practice. Gilbert shots at 24-22 Minnesota.
Basketball short for Gilbert. Short highlight of the 6. Basketball short for Gilbert.
Stoner has it for the Wild. Back to Schmid for a bouncing puck that he's able to corral. And Gilbert looks up and finds Gagne. Sam Gagne puts it across the Horkoff. Shoots back to the same rebound. Oh, Gagne can't fire it out. He had a wide open net, and Sam Gagne can't tie one.
Sam Gagne.
Oh, Gagne can't. And Gagne. Sam Gagne puts it across the Horkoff. Shoots back to the same
Pierre-Marc
rebound.
Bouchard. Score! Oilers are within 1. It's 3-2.
Playing very well, generating chances. The Oilers bench was trying to call for a penalty shot as that puck got loose in the crease. And look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swinging together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then feeds it to Hemsky, who's got to step on his defender. And then Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over.
Ooh, that's what they're saying.
And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom at the end of the play.
When you talk about body language, you talked about it earlier, Mike. For a goal scorer like Gagne, when it just won't go in.
He's doing a lot of the right things today. He's playing hard. He's setting up plays, but just the confidence to finish is not there.
This is his 20th consecutive game without a goal. He last scored on March the 5th at Colorado. Hemsky brings it ahead, looking there for Gagne. And Hemsky fights off the check, works his way back, lines and shoots it back. Backstrom saw that through traffic and steered it away. Off the bench comes Eberle for Edmonton. Leaves it there for Gagne, but the puck bounces out. He's trying to kick it ahead. Emery's got it. The others completely change. Comes on. Gagne bounces that down. And Backstrom hangs on. Lancet Hockey returns to Edmonton on TSN right after this.
You see the stats of this number one line. Everybody putting up points together. Really enjoying playing with each other. And why wouldn't you? And maybe no more evidence than last game against Minnesota. Jordan Eberle's got an empty netter on his stick if he wants it. And he passed over to Nugent Hopkins so he can have it. And that's the kind of unselfishness that this line has displayed playing with each other.
Eberle battles for the puck with Schultz. And now Ryan Smith wins it. Boy, Ryan Smith really reborn in Edmonton, isn't he?
He has looked like fresh. And Tom Rainey's surprised. They knew he'd be good, but not this good.
Johnson with the steal, shoots. Happy Boone makes the save as Cullen went looking for the... Johnson with the steal, shoots. Happy Boone makes the save as
He scores! We're tied!
Has had a good game.
Matt Cullen, second goal of the playoffs.
Has had a good game.
for the rebound.
A game tire.
Rick Johnson has had a good game hunting down the
It's
rebound.
tied at 3. Oilers will make
Rick
it
Johnson
4
has
games
had
to
a good
3.
game hunting down loose pucks and using his big frame in and around the net. That's more of the same here. Good stick and a cutback to his forehand for a quick release. Good forecheck on Pierre-Marc Bouchard to turn it over. Back to his forehand and Happy Boone has to be quick with that wrister.
Martiak and Bouchard. The assists.
Fired down the wild zone. A battle along the wall, won by Payarvi. Goes Whitney for it. Belanger comes racing back to chip out of the harm's way, and Ryan Whitney has it. Chips that down the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon couldn't find it in his feet. Now Ryan Jones has it. Jones looks back. Keeper long shot that goes wide. Trickles down to Happy Boone, who's careful with that. Orkoff line comes back out. As Bouchard takes that long lead pass, peels back along the wall. He puts it away from him. Seen Lundin come back since he was shaken up earlier. Now standing at the Minnesota bench. Cullen battles with Horkoff. Horkoff wins it for Gagne. Alex Hemsky winds his way in. Moves it across neatly. There's set with a drive, and Backstrom saw it all the way and hangs on.
Nifty little play of the blue.
Cullen in. Moves it across. Wins it for Gagne. Hemsky. Backstrom saw it all the way and hangs on. Moves it across neatly. There's set with a drive, and Backstrom saw it all the way and hangs on.
Nifty little play of the blue line. Nicholas Backstrom makes a save on Andy Sutton's drive. Hemsky buys some time and knows he got someone in behind him. He has to get it underneath the stick, but a good job by Frank Zanon sealing out Sean Horkoff so he couldn't get in front of the net to screen.
And the Nugent Hopkins line is out there now.
Green.
And the Nugent Hopkins line is out there now with 11 goals in Edmonton's last 7 games. There now for Minnesota. Here's Eberle with it. Moving back in the corner. Ryan Smith. Nugent Hopkins. 4 to go now in the third period. The team's already gone with short all twice this year. Nugent Hopkins. Down he goes to Smith. Ryan Smith gets loose. That's a goal. back the other way. Squeeze into the sideboard by Petrie. Bobziak back on it. And Jones takes it away for Payarvi. Magnus Payarvi comes streaking in. Payarvi shoots and Baxter makes the save.
Shoots!
And will back up the save.
Magnus Payarvi still stuck on 1 assist on the year, no goals yet. He's had a strong game tonight. His best asset is his speed, and he's had it working for him tonight. Generating it through the neutral zone, taking shots on net, getting in on forechecks. He's drawn 2 penalties. And this is the kind of work that the Edmonton Oilers want to continue to see out of him. And if he does these little things, the points will come.
Bouchard access the sideboard. The race for now. Johnson. Gilbert goes back. 2 to go now in the third.
3-3. NHL hockey on TSN. All tied up at 3. So is the series.
Back in there to Gagne. Back for Hesky. Hesky works it back. A block off with a shot. That was blocked by Lundin.
He's found himself in some good positions in his third period. They can't play him through the net.
Short time out of the assist. Hospital short time.
Away from him to Hesky. Hesky breaks in the court. Look at Gagne.
Looking forward for the 6th goal.
Gagne. Back in front of the first goal. For the trainer in Floyd, who has it for Minnesota. Moving far out. Hesky plays it down to the other side.
The final minute here in the third period. Game 7 between the Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. 3 games to 3.
Blue Tigers scores and
The Stanley Cup first round. And the Oilers advance to the second round.
2-2 game. And here comes Payarvi.
3-3 shoots. What a hockey game it was.
Payarvi looking there for
Here in Rexall Place.
Gillies. Chips it out. 25 seconds to go.
Wayne Gretzky on the ice.
Everyone.
So it's Ryan Anderson.
Minnesota trying to keep out in front. Losing hockey chance. Time for one more round. But he comes heavily.
Here comes the fifth.
Ryan Smith. Clears down on goal and back
And
to
we're
the
going to go. And the save to
That line goes on a rush.
seals the deal.
Float one into Ryan Smith. Driving hard to the net, and Ryan Smith stops on a dime. Sprays Nicholas Backstrom.
overtime game was against me.
Kind of magic they have.
No item of YouTube video favor. No item of hospital short time.
Stops at the net, making sure to get an offensive zone face-off. Where Tom Reddy gets Sean Horkoff out there. Got a better chance of winning this one against Mikko Koivu.
This one, a chance of winning this series
The
against
Oilers' last
Leafs.
overtime game was against Minnesota, October the 20th. They lost in a shootout. And game was
Last game, game 5.
Chance of
Overtime,
winning this one against Mikko Koivu.
which is a 2-1 win in Minnesota.
overtime game.
We have the final face-off, the final
The Oilers'
rush.
last overtime game was against Minnesota, October the 20th. They lost in a
No
shootout.
item of YouTube video. No item of
Let's see if they did. Wait, good go.
The wall, Cullen has it. This game will go to overtime as well. So for the third time in 4 meetings this year, Edmonton and Minnesota
It's 6
go to the
meetings
extra
and 6
period and
playoff
perhaps even to a
games.
shootout.
And on to the overtime
Time in
period.
4 meetings.
No item in basketball shirt that pays $100. No item in basketball shirt that pays
For the
$100.
third time in 4 meetings this year.
For the second
Edmonton and
time
Minnesota
this year,
will go to the extra period and perhaps even to a
the
shootout.
extra 20-minute sudden death overtime
26 in favor of Edmonton
here
after
on
60 minutes of
TSN
play.
for the third intermission.
NHL TSN Overtime is brought to you by the electric car that works overtime, the Chevrolet Volt. Chevrolet, driving our world forward.
No item in you play keyboard shirt that pays $100.
3-2.
On their feet.
Divisional matchup, especially in the second period.
We shouldn't be surprised by the physical nature of this game. Two teams
For the second time here in this series
given the
and
advance
the
of their last
playoff.
game with Darby Horachek and Stavitz and all the runners that they had.
Already.
I'm surprised that it spilled over. Both teams played
For a
very hard,
20-minute
very physically.
overtime.
A lot of heavy, but mostly clean body
score.
checks. Except for maybe that one Ryan
Go ahead for the
Lee,
second
Cal
20
Cole,
minutes.
but the Minnesota Wild only took that physical play from the board, but they brought it to the front of the net, and that's how they scored their 2 goals. Devin Setaguchi muscling Tom Gilbert, then Tom Rogers and Nick Johnson just throw everything into the front of the net. And the Minnesota Wild feel they have an advantage down in front, playing hard, looking for those loose pucks. So expect that physical play to continue in the third.
Shots are 17-16 Edmonton after 2 periods of play. When these teams met on Friday night, the 5-2 Edmonton win. According to the Minnesota coaches, the chances were 22-22. With 44 scoring chances in that game. The old Minnesota Wild
And away we go.
without giving up 22 scoring chances.
7 overtime.
Chances each through 40 minutes tonight.
It's like they're going to be here on 4-1.
Steps into Lundin.
Shorts have $106.
I think it's something with bad rap, but you think back based on the history of Jacques Lemaire, that reputation still lingers.
Jacques Lemaire has harnessed the offensive instincts of that organization from the way he quickly took over an expansion team and coached on to have success with that Eagles roster. They don't play that same way anymore for a few years.
An early icing call against the
There
Wild.
was another icing
No
call.
item in YouTube video player group.
29 seconds into overtime.
Think about themselves, the way they responded in that second period. 30 minutes of not playing well at all, down 2-0, everything going Edmonton's way, and I said Gucci really ignited them. They were a better finish of the second.
Well, if the Oilers get the next one, that's bad news for the Wild. They have yet to win a game this year when allowing 3 or more donor being.
Expansion team.
No item in YouTube video play. No item in you play keyboard.
Their history.
Seek slider at 1 hour 10 minutes 30 seconds. Seek slider at 1 hour.
Now steps into Lundin.
1 hour 10 minutes.
And is lifted out by Heatley. The Wild get something with that.
Saved by Dubnik.
No item in you basketball shirt.
Reputation still lingers.
Harnessed the offensive instincts of that organization from the way he quickly took over an expansion team and coached on to have success. They don't play that same way anymore, and they haven't tried to play in a few years.
Vladislav Schmid through the middle. And he finds Alashevsky. Alashevsky peels off on a change as Ryan Smith was.
Minnesota Wild have to feel pretty good about themselves. Usually you do.
But Coach Mike Yo saying to us before the game, it's not like they haven't had chances. They just have a number of players who are snake bit right now, Daniel Heatley being one of them.
It's tough to argue given where they are in the standings, but the addition of Setaguchi and Heatley was supposed to change that dynamic, get a couple of pure goal scorers that can convert some of these many chances that they generate. Hasn't happened to this point in the season, but when goal scorers of their caliber, they know it's only a matter of time.
Minnesota with a win tonight can fall back into first place in the NHL's overall standings. The place it held for a couple of days last week. Once again, the Wild fire down. And that's a third icing call against Minnesota. Just as we say, the call away from the Jacques Lemaire hockey, they iced the puck 3 times in the first minute and 45 of the period.
Here are the 2 big additions coming in from San Jose in separate trades. Danny Heatley, Devin Setaguchi, neither one putting up the points that they were expected to, still trying to fit into their new system. But when you're winning, it allows players like that a little more latitude as they make their transition on their new team without
item in view. YouTube
falling under
video.
a little bit more criticism.
Those are blockbuster deals made between San Jose and Minnesota in the summer. Down. And that's a third ice goal against Minnesota. Just as we say, they've got against Jacques Lemaire.
To the whistle.
It's been a spirited start and a speedy one from the Oilers on their attack. Smith and Luongo with a word to one another in the tail end of all that. Twice they were able to challenge Luongo from sharp angles. And the first bit looked like it was more problematic than this one on the little spinorama cram play. Here's Smith, one of the best from that position to the front of the net, or tipping pucks in front. Couldn't lose Luongo on it.
But when you're winning, it allows players.
Been a good start, I think, from what the Canucks would like to do.
But when you're winning,
you got to
it
think
allows players
in front.
YouTube video player group.
Couldn't lose Luongo on it.
They make their transition on their new team without falling under
Been a good
more
start, I
criticism.
think, from what the Canucks would like to do.
Husky.
You got to think they want to
Slider.
play a
1
solid
hour 13
team
minutes
game
19 seconds of 1 hour
where they
59.
force this young Oilers team into mistakes. And
YouTube video player group.
At the World Junior last year for the U.S. There's Pajärvi with a shot. And the rebound cleared to the line, but not on. Petrie with a drive was off the leg of Gilly. Whitney plays that across, but the puck bounced out, and Brodziak has it. Caught it with his teammate David McIntyre. And now Gilly's back on it. Gilly's battling with Pajärvi, and now Spurgeon with it. Fires that right back in, and just missed Pajärvi's head with a shoot it. Orkoff picks it up now for Edmonton. John Orkoff winds his way ahead. He's got Gagne streaking up with it. Orkoff is 1-on-4, finds Gagne, shoots. And Baxter's got a piece of that to knock it wide. Hemsky can't knock it down. Koivu has it for Minnesota. Mikko Koivu goes looking for his own shooting. Tom Gilbert takes it away. And now Schmid says Koivu's strong. Gilbert for Gagne. That pass misfired. And Lundin shovels it back in deep. Picked up by Gilbert for Gagne. Hanks out ahead for Hemsky as Nick Schultz goes back and they collide hard. And notice how careful Schultz was going in with Gagne.
No item in view. Hockey shirt. No item in view. Hockey shirt.
Chris Thompson there with Gagne. Sam Gagne lines away from Heatley.
Hockey shirt. Slider at 1 hour 14 minutes 43 seconds of 1 hour 59 minutes 11 seconds. 1 hour 14 minutes 46 seconds of 1 hour 59 minutes 11 seconds.
Shoots back from the same.
No item in view. Slider at 1 hour 12 minutes 31 seconds.
Just as we say, they got away from the Jacques Lemaire.
3 times. Cross-checking minor. He was the Canucks forward that went to the riding crop to get back as
We play keyboard shirt and
forward and break
YouTube
up
video player
that
group.
rush
No
for
item in
the
view. Hockey keyboard shirt and no item in view. YouTube video player group. No item in view. Hockey keyboard shirt
So
and
far has been a dry Oilers power play. They worked on it this morning. Didn't have any penalty killers against it, but it was pretty obvious what they wanted to do. Simple, double net presence in front, and get pucks past that first block with the team.
When you're winning, it allows players like that.
The riding crop to get back as attracting forward and break up that rush for the Edmonton Oilers.
Hockey keyboard shirt. Slider at 1 hour 12 minutes.
Oilers power play. They worked on it
1
this
hour 14.
morning.
1 hour 14 minutes 49 seconds of 1 hour 59. YouTube video player group.
Back for Schmid. The next linesman standing at the bench for 30 seconds. Gilbert walks in and shoots. That deflects wide.
Command not available.
And Hemsky can't hold the line as Schmid goes back. And feeds it across to Gilbert as exhausted forward line goes off for Edmonton.
Exiting narrator.
Good job working their defensemen in the offensive cycles. Good exchanges to sustain the offensive pressure.
Matt Cullen brings it in with Johnson. Steps away from Nugent Hopkins.
Search window search.
Flips that down to Johnson. Back
Heading level 1. Well, restart. Exit narrator button all text. Minimize button all. No item in view. Seek slider at 1 hour 15.
Looks back down for Bouchard.
Seek slider at 1 hour. 1 hour 15.
Now Pierre-Marc Bouchard collides hard with Andy Sutton. And Bouchard sends something tough one as Johnson picks up the puck, tries to work it in front. Happy moving down, the puck loose. And Cullen got batted in the head by Peckham, and a penalty coming up to Edmonton. Theo Peckham is going off the roughing.
Matt Cullen has some words for Theo Peckham at the end of the exchange. It's been a recurring theme in the last part of the second period, and the third here is the Minnesota Wild trying to drive the front of the net and in on top of Nikolai Havi-Bulin. Matt Cullen is Nick Johnson taking Nugent Hopkins, and then that's a little shot there from Theo Peckham trying to shove Matt Cullen out of the crease area. But there is a loose puck in there. The shot in the back of the head is enough to draw the roughing penalty for Theo Peckham.
So the Wild with the power play. 4:45 into this third period. See, just
for the net and in on top.
one ship.
Slider, 1 hour 17 minutes, 1 hour.
Ryan Jones chips that down to Minnesota zone as over Spurgeon goes back. And Bouchard is on it.
Replay keyboard shortcut game button.
Setaguchi taps it back for Koivu to Spurgeon. Spurgeon fires that into the owner zone as Gilbert goes back. Setaguchi for Koivu. Gilbert wins the battle for the puck. It's held onside by Bouchard. Spurgeon shoots and Havi-Bulin makes the stop on in. What a play at the line by Bouchard to keep that alive.
How good is that hand-eye coordination? Pierre-Marc Bouchard playing the point on the power play. He knows he's got lots of time. He sees a puck that's going to come out about his knees. One hand on his stick, kicks it out of the air, keeps it onside by the smallest of margins to generate a shot for Spurgeon.
Now Koivu steps in against Horcoff. Oilers much better on face-offs in that second period. The Wild with this one. Spurgeon shoots and Havi-Bulin pounces on a loose puck.
Pretty simple for the Minnesota Wild. Jared Spurgeon manning the point at the top of the umbrella. If he has a shooting lane, he's looking to take it on Nikolai Havi-Bulin. Trying to get the big forwards down in front. This one happens pretty quickly off the faceoff. Koivu wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on the Spurgeon. He didn't get the screen done in time.
A couple of saves to his left, and then a real snappy one. Rush by Bailey. Gilbert wins the battle. It's held onside by Bouchard.
On the right point.
Playing the point on the power play.
1 hour 43 seconds, 1 hour 59 minutes, and a second.
He's got one hand on the stick, kicks it out of the air, keeps it onside by the margins to generate a shot.
1 hour 15 minutes, 52 seconds, 1 hour 3 seconds.
Pekka Rinne being such a big goaltender at 6'5", he's the little guy. But the Nashville Predators have is Anders Lindback is 6'6", but he's agile for a big body, and he's been great with his rebound control tonight. There's been some chances in tight, but he gets down. And with that size, can look around, find the puck. Not a whole lot of second opportunities for the Oilers.
Anders Lindback, the tallest player ever
1 hour 11 minutes, 1 hour 11
Create his space, not even with his
go in this Minnesota power play. Jared Spurgeon, who scored his first career NHL goal. The Wild with this one. Spurgeon shoots.
He's looking to take it.
Skating that puck up the ice, using his speed, getting that shot through traffic. And great video, see everybody trying to grab the leg. Because obviously well on the line before he keeps crossing. So the fans here in Rexall Place aren't too happy with the ball.
Jones off the face-off win. Gucci fires it down. Plays it across the court. Setaguchi taps it in. Johnson to Brodziak. Brodziak shoots back, saved by Happy Bull. And O'Mara lifts the puck down the ice. 4 shots on goal for Minnesota on that power play, which ends as Peckham steps back on the ice. Lead pass for Brodziak, who chips that down to the Oilers zone. He steps hard into Whitney. Petrie sent flying as Ryan Smith sidesteps his man and sends it out. Horkoff taps it back, but the puck leaves the zone, and Stoppins has it. Petrie through the middle for Gagne, and Sam Gagne finds a streaking shot. Horkoff in, poke check by Backstrom, and Nick Schultz cleaned up the rebound. Backstrom's lost his stick. And the Wild able to clear the puck out. That allows their goaltender to retrieve his stick after a great dash in by Sean Horkoff. Wild now out shooting the Oilers 23-20, but Horkoff with a 5-star chance. Southern part of the province. Sutton lifts that high in the air. Back goes Stoner for it. A long time between whistles now in the third period.
You see the Minnesota Wild now just stretching it out before hard packed up for a little shot strip to the offensive zone. Not really getting anything done from the neutral zone right now.
They're trying to pull that puck ahead, and Schmid finally sends it out. Ryan Smith and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins work their way in. Everly with the trailer, but Bouchard took it away for Johnson. In comes Johnson with a shot blocked by Ryan Whitney. Johnson back on it. Bumped into Smith. Bouchard for Scandella at the line. Spurgeon shoots off the end boards it goes. And Petrie plays it up along the wall. Picked up by Nugent-Hopkins. Back in deep it goes to Cullen. And Cullen hammered down there by Petrie. Nugent-Hopkins brings it out. Flips it ahead for Payarvi as the Oilers are changing. Magnus Payarvi works in. Steps away from Scandella, but Scandella seals him hard. Now Melange. Back he goes to Peckham. Theo Peckham works in and shoots, and Backstrom through the traffic is able to make the save. 10:28 to go here in the third. Theo Peckham works in and shoots, and Backstrom through the traffic.
1 hour 23 minutes. 1 hour 23 minutes 57 seconds. 1 hour 59 minutes 11 seconds.
That puck, has his head down, looking for it, and gets a poke check out there to take it away from the backhand from Sean Horkoff.
2-2 the score with 10.5 to go in the third period.
10-15.
Ryan Jones shoots, Backstrom kicks that away. And now Michael Dean is limping to the Minnesota bench. So the Wild have already lost 2 forwards. Now a D is going off. David McIntyre on it for Minnesota. Plays it there for Gillies. Fourth line with Spurgeon shoots, and Tony Bullock bounces on a loose line.
Have to go into third.
Pretty simple for the Minnesota Wild.
He's long been out of school, but in September he didn't hit the books, but hit the rink instead. He was part of a video shoot to help promote both math and science as they worked on, among other things, angles that he uses in net. Now, this will be material that is part of the U.S. curriculum, even though some of the students, when they see it, might consider this to be a little bit of weird science.
And how about the math that his agent is working on? He's an unrestricted free.
Not even with his eyes up ice. Pretty simple for the Minnesota
No item
umbrella.
to YouTube video player group. No item to possible shirt for button.
Pretty simple for the Minnesota Wild. Jared Spurgeon manning the point at the top of the umbrella. If he has a shooting lane, he's looking to take it on Nikolai Happy-Bulin. Trying to get the big forwards down in front. This one happens pretty quickly off the faceoff. Corbin wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on this first. Didn't get the screen done in time. Corbin wins it cleanly. Setaguchi still looking to create his space, not even with his eyes up ice on this first. Didn't get the screen done in time.
Jones off the face-off win by the Oilers, fires it down. Minute 10 to go in this. In the Wild 1 3-1. Mike Yeo felt that the Wild needed more speed in the last tonight to match the Oilers. Gillies turns it over to Payarvi. Magnus Payarvi comes speeding in. Backhands out on goal. Backstrom makes the save. And he'll hang on.
And it was another save.
Well, your chance to enter the $1 million shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can take to the ice at the World Juniors in Edmonton and try to win a Chevrolet Volt and $1 million. Visit tsn.ca/Volt. Surrender before it's too late. And the start of the World Junior Hockey Championship just over 3 weeks away. Team Canada opens camp on December the 10th in Calgary. The selection camp will last until the 14th, and 3 pre-tournament games in the opener on Boxing Day here. And he'll hang on.
Well, some great movement here by this trio in the offensive zone. A real good recognition of Tom Gilbert to jump down into the frame. He recognizes everybody's puck watching, gets right into the spot, picks up the pass, and gets a terrific chance off the back wall. This one hits traffic as it goes through, but bodies moving, pucks moving. You see the skill sets of all three in tight spaces to keep control of that puck and find one another. That chemistry just developed the last of the 14th between the three young tournament games and the opener on Boxing Day. Team Canada opens camp. Oilers have the advantage on December the 10th in Calgary. That's the line of the last of the 14th and three tournament games and the opener on Boxing Day here. Get by him. Control of that. The 2012 World Junior will get underway. Edmonton and trying to win a Chevrolet on Sunday. Gillies turns it over to Payarvi, and Magnus Payarvi comes speeding in. Backhands that on goal. Backstrom makes the save.
And here it goes again. Here is another fighting major in this series.
Shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can take the ice at the World Juniors in Edmonton and try to win a Chevrolet Volt and $1 million. The World Juniors in Edmonton, the $1 million shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can your chance to enter the $1 million Volt. Surrender before it's too late. And the start of the World Junior Hockey Championship is over 3 weeks away. Team Canada opens camp on December the 10th in Calgary. Team Canada opens camp on December the 10th in Calgary. The selection camp will last until the 14th, and 3 pre-tournament games in the opener on Boxing Day here. Feeding in. Backhands out on goal. Backstrom makes the save. Chance to win the $1 million shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can take the ice at the World Juniors. You see how Hawkins are on that play. It's amazing how he stays with pucks. Even though his pass doesn't get through, he stays in the position, he keeps his eye on the puck, and keeps his stick active in the process. And he's really good right here following it up. You see how Hawkins are on that play. It's amazing how he stays with pucks. Even though his pass doesn't get through, he stays in the position, he keeps his eye on the puck, 3 weeks away. Team Canada keeps his stick active in the process. And Calgary, the selection camp will last until the 14th, and 3 pre-tournament games in the opener on Boxing Day here. Empty to an open wing, and Stoner on it for Minnesota. Not for Heatley, the pass too far for him.
33 is yours.
This is going to set his stick on the fire and down, placing waves on.
It just didn't seem as the Oilers
for the Minnesota Wild
to get that pass in the right position.
The Oilers in their first playoff series win.
Southern set ahead, the pass too far for Eberle. Then Cullen plays it back to the Oilers zone. Now Sutton tries Eberle again, chips it easy for Smith. Ryan Smith trying to get him behind Scandella. Bounces into the slot where Cullen picks it up. Bouchard puts it ahead for Cullen. Now he's giving Cullen the line hard. Eberle. Along the boards, intercepted by Johnson. Sends it in front. Cullen 2 whacks at it. And heavy bowling turned that away. Nugent Hopkins put that right to stick of Bouchard. And here Mark play. 8:04 to go here in the third period.
It was an offside call.
Ryan Smith plays his 795th game as an Edmonton Oiler, tying Kelly Fox as an assistant coach on the Oiler bench. The #1 spot held by the only man ever to play 1,000 games in an Oiler uniform. Kevin Lowe, now the president of hockey operations here in Edmonton. Kevin Lowe, now the president of hockey operations here in Edmonton. Kevin Lowe, now the president of hockey operations here in Edmonton.
And you probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a managerial position with the Oilers whenever he has finished playing several years from now. You probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a managerial position with the Oilers whenever he has finished playing several years from now.
Kevin Lowe,
see Ryan Smith
operations here in Edmonton.
And you probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a manager. And you probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a managerial position with the Oilers. To see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether. And you probably wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Smith slide into any one of those roles, whether it's a coach or a managerial position with the Oilers whenever he has finished playing several years from now.
Here's Lundin with a shot that goes off the leg. Backhands in on the goal. Baxter makes the save. And he'll hang on.
There was another offside call.
Your chance to enter the $1 million shootout ends on Sunday, December the 4th. You can take to the ice of the World Juniors in Edmonton and try to win a Chevrolet Bolt and $1 million. You look at the TSN.ca/Bolt. It's too late.
Hopkins has 4 goals.
The star of the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Youngsters
Goal back to the National
Hockey faces here tonight. They're running for the youngsters. The National Hockey League.
And he'll hang on.
Faces here tonight. They're running for the Calder this year.
$1 million. Smith, the first time a guy has gotten 2 goals in his team's first 2 games since Brent Murray did it for the Oilers in 1996.
1 hour 27 minutes 34 seconds of 1 hour 59 minutes 11 seconds.
A 4th-round pick in 2009.
1 hour 27 minutes. 1 hour 27 minutes 49 seconds of 1 hour 59 minutes 11. 1 hour 27 minutes 34 seconds of 1 hour 59 minutes 11 seconds. 1 hour
years from now. Here's Lundin with a shot that goes off the leg. McIntyre looks down for Gillies. Puck turned over to McIntyre. Trying to feed that across the line away by Abby Bullock.
Let's go Oilers.
Kevin Lowe, over 1,000 games for the Oilers and over 3,000 hard practices. One of the most vicious practice players you've ever seen in your life.
Right the way he practiced. His stick several times in and around the net. He carried a heavy one. Wasn't afraid to swing it around.
Gretzky once asked who's the hardest defenseman he ever played against. He said Kevin Lowe in practice. Here's McIntyre up for Gillies. Trying to get that by Gilbert. Shot to 24-22 Minnesota. Now Gilbert holds it. Minnesota David plays it deep, and Stoner had it for a while.
For the Oilers.
Schmid for the bouncing puck that he's able to corral. And Gilbert looks up. And finds Gagne. Sam Gagne puts it across the top. Shoots back to the table. He had a wide open net.
And a save.
Gagne can't buy one.
Oh, no.
Sam Gagne playing very well, generating chances. Edmonton Oilers bench was trying to call for a penalty shot as that puck got loose in the crease. Now look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swinging together. Gagne cuts first, then he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then feeds it to Hemsky, who's got to step on his defender. And then Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound.
1 hour 59 minutes 35
And the
seconds.
puck's
1 hour
not
59 minutes
bouncing
11
his way
seconds.
right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over.
That's what they're saying.
And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom at the end of the play.
Shoots back to the table.
Oh, here we go again with another save.
Wide open net and Sam
Right on the open net.
Sam Gagne playing very well, generating chances. Edmonton Oilers bench was trying to call for a penalty shot as that puck got loose in the crease. Look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swinging together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then feeds it to Hemsky, who's got to step on his defender. And Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over. And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back under. Got the empty net on him. And then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. And Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over. And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom at the end of the play.
When you talk about body language, you talked about earlier, Mike. Since goal scorer like Gagne, when it just won't go in.
He's doing a lot of the right things today. He's playing hard. He's setting up plays, but just the confidence to finish.
Rick Smith, the first time there. The guy is just
Puck's not bouncing his way right now. That's available. And then he's to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. And Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over. I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom. Can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over. And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom at the end of the play.
For the Oilers, when you talk about body language, you talk
gets available and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on the puck on loose the crease. Chances loose the crease. Hemsky and Gagne swing together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. Gagne getting chances. You look at Craig Smith's bench, was trying to call for a penalty shot as the puck got loose to the crease. Look at this regroup. So Hemsky and Gagne swing together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got
Gagne can't buy one.
That's another bench was trying to call for a penalty shot as that puck got loose to the crease. Now look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swing together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. And then Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air and over.
Oh, that's what they're saying.
And then I think the whistle had probably gone before the puck was stuffed back underneath Nicholas Backstrom at the end of the play.
When you talk about body language, you talk about earlier. For a goal scorer like Gagne, when it just won't go in.
He's doing a lot of the right things today. He's playing hard. He's setting up plays, but just the confidence to finish. It's not there.
This is his 20th consecutive game without a goal. He last scored on March the 5th. Looking there for Gagne. And Hemsky fights off the check, works his way back, lines and shoots, and Backstrom saw it off through traffic and cleared it away. Off the bench comes Eberle for Edmonton. Leaves it there for Gagne, but the puck bounces out. He's trying to kick it ahead. Eberle's got it. The Oilers complete the change as Nugent Hopkins comes on. Gagne bounces that down. And Backstrom hangs on. Wednesday Night Hockey returns to Edmonton on TSN. Right where he's got it. The Oilers complete the change.
You see the stats of this number one line. Everybody putting up points together. Really enjoying playing with each other. And why wouldn't you? And maybe no more evidence than the last game against Minnesota. Jordan Eberle's got an empty netter on his stick if he wants it. And he passed over to Nugent Hopkins so he can have it. And that's the kind of unselfishness that this line has displayed playing with each other.
Eberle battles for the puck with Schultz. Shoots back to the same rebound. Oh, Gagne can't. He had a wide open net and Sam Gagne
seals the deal.
Gagne playing very well, generating chances. Another chances trying to call for a penalty shot at that puck out loose the crease. Look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swing together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. And then Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere up in the air.
The National Hockey League.
His defender is the crease. Now look at this regroup. Hemsky and Gagne swing together. Gagne cuts first, and he finds the middle of the ice, gets available, and then beats it to Hemsky, who's got a step on his defender. And Gagne's got the empty net on his stick with a rebound. And the puck's not bouncing his way right now. Just can't corral it anywhere.
When I was 39 minutes.
Up in the air and
When I
over.
was 39 minutes. When I was 39
The whistle had gone.
When I was
Tonight having good starts to their NHL seasons. And when you look at Craig Smith with the
when I
National
was-
Predators,
when I
already
was
has
31
4
minutes, 46
points.
seconds,
Ryan
when I was-
has 4 goals.
Looking for the rebound. The steal, shoots, half.
Came in and around the net.
When I was 31. When I was
For the rebound.
When I was 31 minutes. When I was 31
Nick
minutes.
Johnson.
Went looking for the rebound.
When I was 31 minutes. 59 seconds. When I was 39 minutes.
Nick Johnson has had a good game hunting down loose pucks and using his big frame in and around the net. That's more of the same here. Quick stick and a cutback to his forehand for a quick release. Good forecheck on Pierre-Marc Bouchard to turn it over, and nice move back to his forehand. Generating it through the neutral zone, taking shots on net, getting in on forechecks. He's drawn 2 penalties. And this is the kind of work that the Edmonton Oilers want to continue to see out of him. And if he does these little things, the points will come.
Shot. So that's a side board to race for now. Johnson and back. got his fourth line out there in the final minute
Champ.
of a 2-2 game. Here comes Payardi with it.
What's her?
Backs and knocks that away.
Big day.
Payardi looking there for
Ryan Smith.
Belanger. That was knocked away. Gillies.
Belanger.
25 seconds to go. Scandella. Hard slap pass gets by everyone.
What a save!
Tried to feed that in front. Nugent Hopkins has it.
20 seconds left to go. Here is Ryan. Nugent Hopkins.
Players down on goal, and Backstrom has it.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Just
Trying to
4
make
for
this
26 in his
8
career.
seconds left to
This is
go.
his 10th of the season.
To make the season.
Keep the wall alive.
Here's Nugent Hopkins for the win. He scores! Ryan Nugent Hopkins. The Edmonton Oilers. Forced a game 7. The Oilers have won the series. And 4-3, they won it in overtime.
How do you go a roll like this? Well, it'll count, and the shootout will continue.
One of the worst penalty shots I've ever seen, but sweet result.
Ryan Smith's first attempt of the year. He's starting to get pretty deep into the rotation here. So Smith to give the Oilers their third lead in the shootout. And he's stopped by Backstrom. So the Wild now have their fourth chance to win it.
Ryan Smith's favorite moves. Trying to just slip it through 5-hole. With a stick hand almost slip it through, and it goes back. He gets the left back to the ice.
Radziak, the next shooter's only had one attempt in his career. He missed on it. Former Edmonton Oiler. And the Wild going in. We've done that to Edmonton this year. And the Minnesota Wild going into the third time they defeat the Edmonton Oilers in the shootout. And that's the third time they've done that to Edmonton this year. And the Minnesota Wild going into December will be the #1 team in the NHL's overall standing.
Number 1 team. They will be the top team. Ladies and gentlemen.
6 liners, 1 hours, 58 minutes, 47 seconds, 1 hours, 59 minutes, 11 seconds.
3-star. Chosen by JSN at 6:30.
1 hours, 58 minutes, 37 seconds, 1 hours, 59 minutes.
For the Edmonton Oilers.
Austin Boyd short,
For the Edmonton by number 34, Ryan Smith. Your second star tonight for the Edmonton Oilers with 1 goal by the Minnesota Wild by number 7, Kyle Quantrill. And your first star with 1 goal in overtime.
Will be the #1 team in the NHL's overall standing.
1 hours, 58 minutes, 40 seconds, 1 hours, 59 minutes.
NHL's overall going into December will be the #1 team here at shootout. And that's the third time they've done that to Edmonton this year. And the Minnesota Wild going into December will be the #1 team in the NHL's overall standing. The third time defeat the Edmonton Oilers in the shootout. It's the third time they've done that to Edmonton this year. And the Minnesota Wild going into December will be the #1 former Edmonton Oiler. Radziak with a chance to win it. Scores. And that's the third time they've done that to Edmonton this year, and the Minnesota Wild going into the
to advance to the second round.
#1 team in the NHL's overall standing.
They found a way
1 hour 58 minutes 40.
to advance to the Stanley Cup second
Final score
round.
of 3-2. For Mike Johnson and Ryan Rashaw, I'm Gordon Miller. Thanks for tuning in from Edmonton. This has been a President Ryan Rashaw.
1 hour 58 minutes 46.
Kyle Brodziak with his first successful shootout attempt.
Stanley Cup
And the
Series
Wild win
win.
by a final score of 3-2. For Mike Johnson and Ryan Rashaw, I'm Gordon Miller. Thanks for tuning in from Edmonton.
Against the Toronto Maple
This
Leafs.
has been a presentation of TSA. Final score of 3-2.
There is no game 7.
For Mike Johnson and Ryan Rashaw, I'm Gordon Miller. Thanks for tuning in from Edmonton.
Tuning in from
This
Edmonton.
Johnson and Ryan Rashaw, I'm Gordon Miller. Thanks for tuning in from Edmonton. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader. Now stand by for Sports Center.
No idea. K button K.